Alrighty guys, what is going on everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. Hope everyone is doing good out there. Glad to have everybody here this morning. I know it's very, very early. I'm still trying to wake up myself. It is definitely a pretty interesting day today because we are seeing a lot of activity in the weather world regarding the landfall of Ophelia, which is going to be happening here very soon, as well as the in terms of severe weather. We got a really big severe weather risk out there for today as well. An enhanced risk, level 3 severe weather threat throughout portions here of you can see Oklahoma, into portions of Kansas, into portions here also of Missouri. It is definitely going to be a very, very active day regarding the weather, so got to be weather aware out there. But anyways, let's go ahead and see who we have here for today, or this morning. We have Ghost in the Rain. What's up, dude? Hope you're doing all right. Same thing for you, Jackson. We have Texas Roast. We have Official Account 55. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing good, and good morning to you all out there. But anyways, we're going to go and hop our way over here to the radar view. So this is Ophelia. It's definitely closing in on landfall. The center is located right in here, as you can tell. It looks like it's going to be making landfall by areas near Emerald Isle, as well as Morehead City. We are already seeing a lot of strong winds out here. Actually, we are definitely seeing a lot of strong winds out here overall. We're gonna hop you guys over here to my other view, so I can kind of show you guys some of those winds. In Emerald Isle here, we're talking sustained winds of let's see here, sustained winds of 30. You can't see it, but down here it says 51 mile/hour wind gusts out there towards Emerald Isle. We have Beaufort here. Beaufort's looking at 26 sustained with gusts up to 52. So it's definitely getting pretty hefty out there across the way. And even out there towards areas like, like Avon, just on the, the outskirts of, or basically the coastal areas here of North Carolina, we're still getting gusts of 38 out here. So it's definitely very, very strong in terms of the winds and stuff. Let's see here. What's up? Let's see here. KN says, already feeling the winds picking up here. Stay safe out there, KN11. Yeah, if you have any questions throughout this, please let me know, okay? Marcus says they sure bumped the risk compared to yesterday. Missouri is now to 5% now. I saw that. Yep, big tornado threat today, actually. Let me go ahead and show you all today's tornado threats. It's a really long tornado threat, actually, whenever it comes to it. Here is the latest tornado outlook. You can actually see in terms of the systems already brewing. We have that low pressure system right here. You can see that. That is going to be the main source of severe weather. That is the low pressure system that's bringing in, a bit of cooler air from the north eventually, as well as bringing in a little bit of warm air from the south, and bringing in some cool air from the north. In general, that is going to be the main driver of the severe weather later on today, in which we I'm also planning to cover that. Definitely will try to be here for that as well. But yeah, no, 5% chance all the way from northeastern portions of Oklahoma, throughout portions of Kansas, Missouri, Iowa. We have Minnesota here. Definitely is pretty decent tornado risk here today. Let me turn off the infrared for 1 second. So we do have a tornado threat as well across the green areas here, throughout portions of eastern North Carolina into basically eastern Virginia, including the Richmond area. This tornado threat also extends into portions of, southeastern Maryland, southern Delaware, and a very small area here in extreme southern New Jersey. Really not too many areas. Villa and Avalon is kind of the only areas in there. So that basically means a couple isolated tornadoes cannot be ruled out today. These are what we call cyclone-induced tornadoes. So basically, due to the system's nature, making landfall, the right-hand side is considered to be the quote-unquote dirty side. That is where your thermodynamics and your wind shear meet up together. And that is essentially right where you're going to be having those tornadoes, is on the right-hand side of the system here. So that is how that works in general. So yeah, a couple isolated tornadoes will be possible throughout portions of eastern North Carolina, portions here of eastern Virginia, and through southeast Maryland into southern Delaware, as well as portions here of southern New Jersey. So we'll definitely need to be looking out there for that. Let's see here. I'm between the slight/marginal risk on Sunday, says Marcus. Well, stay safe out there, my friend. Let's see here. Go West says everyone stay safe. If you're in it as well, go West. You as well, my friend. See, Ghost says, wow. Yeah. It's a bit crazy, isn't it? Just a little bit. Here's the radar view once again, y'all. You can see this thing very aggressively rotating this thing is pretty solid right now. And like I said, we'll probably be seeing landfall here probably within the next hour or two. From what it looks like, the storm's motion. Let's go and look at that real quickly. Actually, storm motion is moving north-northwest at 12 miles an hour. So I mean, it's moving decent. It's moving at a decent pace. It's not absolutely like going fast or whatnot, but it is definitely at a decent pace here. Here's the latest information from the Hurricane Center on the system in general here. All this yellow here is where the estimated tropical storm force winds are located, so all in this area here. It even looks like portions of eastern South Carolina, basically east central sides of North Carolina and southeast Virginia right now is seeing those tropical storm force winds right now. And like we were talking about here yesterday, the storm is still at its same strength. Right now it's at 70 sustained, so 70 mile an hour wind sustained, which means it's only 5 mile an hour short from being a hurricane. It's only 5 mile an hour sustained short from being a hurricane. But like we also mentioned, that 5 mile an hour difference is not going to do too much, so it's just a big name change, if anything, from tropical storm to hurricane. But it's regardless going to be very, very impactful. And whenever it comes to the the rainfall projections out of the system, it's going to be very heavy. Things have not really changed too much on the rainfall expectancy. For the most part, it's the same. But we still have those areas here by Wilmington, maybe even getting up to some regions up to 6 to 10 inches of rainfall. That is definitely a heck of a lot of rainfall for sure. Southeastern Virginia here, we have ourselves a little area here, 4 to 6 inches. Once again, a lot of rainfall. They did include a few localized areas here, basically, across southeastern New Jersey, maybe getting up to 4 to 6 inches. We'll see how that plays out. But regardless, a lot of rainfall is forecasted for portions here of the the Mid-Atlantic into the southern New England regions here. 2 to 4 inches of rainfall out there towards Long Island as a whole. Extreme southeastern New York State, extreme southeastern Pennsylvania, a lot of New Jersey's in that region between 2 and 4 inches. So definitely a lot of rainfall is expected out of this system here. Now with the surges and stuff like that, they kept it basically the same. It hasn't really changed too much since last night's update. Whenever it comes to it here, y'all, we are talking a good amount of surging actually for portions here along eastern North Carolina into southeastern Virginia. Whenever it comes to Neuse and Bay rivers, those regions there, we are talking about 4 to 6 foot of storm surge being a possibility. That is the heaviest storm surge is going to be felt across those regions. Out there across the coast here, we are talking 2 to 4 feet of storm surge across a lot of these areas here as well. So we're going to definitely need to be watching this closely because storm surge is going to be a problem for those coastal areas here. So we'll definitely need to be on the lookout here. We'll definitely need to be watching this system here for the next several hours, because this thing is going to be causing a bunch of problems for the next little bit. Let's see here. Good morning, Joey. Hope you're doing good. Let's see. Do I see Sunday staying slight, or do I see a chance for tiny hands? I'm not going to answer that right now. I'd have to dive into models, which we're not going to do right now. In terms of severe weather and forecasting and stuff, but if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and we'll just, we'll monitor it as it comes through. Let's see here. I don't think I slept at all in Wilmington, North Carolina. The wind. Yeah, I'm sure it's pretty strong out there. Back over here towards the radar view, the storm's bands are actually just to the east of Wilmington. There's a really big band you can see right here in that yellow, going right through Surf City right now. Let's see here, portions of Holly Ridge, just went through Sneads Ferry, Dixon, Verona, Jacksonville, Pumpkin Center, Maysville. Let's see, coming up on the New Bern, coming up on Trent Woods in North Carolina. There's a pretty big band actually. I'm sure there's probably going to be a lot of gusty winds on that band as well. Those bands you got to really look out for, because those are the ones that really pack a punch regarding the rainfall and stuff. Let's see here. So power though, thankfully. That's good. And actually, speaking of power outages, we should probably take a look and see what's going on here. It definitely looks like we've gotten a lot more power outages since the last update here for both Virginia and North Carolina. Let's go ahead and bring you all over here to the power outage map. So when it comes to it, North Carolina has about 20,000 people without power. Virginia has about 21,000 people without power here. Let's see here. Most of the power outages in Virginia are on the southeastern side, as expected. That's where the conditions are going to start to get worse, and then they're going to work their way up more to the north here. But yeah, I do expect power outages, a lot of them across Virginia today, being a possibility. North Carolina, obviously the heaviest is going to be on the eastern middle side here of the state. That's where the heaviest impacts is expected with the system, in which, you know, a lot of them already are right here for Carteret here. That's where we have 4,000 out of the 20,000 people without power in North Carolina. So that holds a lot of them. That definitely holds a lot of the power outages. Let's see here, Bertie County as well. Definitely feeling pretty well. Now we do got some new information that's getting ready to come through here from the Hurricane Center regarding the system here. We're gonna hop you all over here to the back over here to the one screen. The hurricane hunters themselves, you know, they're getting ready to fly into the core of the storm here. You can see the planes. Last location is right here, and this was at 8:16 UTC. So this was about 12 minutes ago or so. But anyways, we're getting the plane. Oh, here we go. That just updated actually. So yep, 8:26. This is the last update as of 2 minutes ago. They're getting pretty close to the core of the storm here, and you can see that the core, the center of the circulation is right in here. That's right where the center of circulation. I think it's actually right there. I think that's the center point. And the hurricane hunters are in a direct path for it, so they're getting ready to fly into it again. We're gonna get some more data from them, which will determine if this thing is a tropical storm or a hurricane. At this point, it's probably gonna remain just a tropical storm. Would not be too surprised if it stays that way. I also wouldn't be surprised if it did get bumped up. You never know. I mean, like I said, it's basically a 50-50 shot of this thing being a hurricane or being a tropical storm right now, overall. But they are getting ready to find some more information out on the storm, which will definitely be beneficial to investigations and stuff. So that's good. Let me look here and see what kind of winds they pulled out last mission here, or the mission they just did. Let's see. So they did. Okay, wow. Actually, this thing might even be near hurricane strength. Yeah, the more I look at it here, those winds. Well, that's flight level winds. But apparently the surface winds are off. But yeah, flight level winds have been reported at 70, which that would be, obviously it's lower at flight, or it's higher winds at flight level versus the sea level. So that, I mean, that's definitely up there. It's definitely upper in tropical storm, for sure. The pressure has dropped quite a bit, actually. Looks like 982 millibars. I don't know if they have it on the last update, 984. So it does look like that pressure might have dropped quite a bit here in the latest pass through. You can see in the latest part of the graph here, as they're getting closer to the core of the storm, you can see how the pressure is starting to drop as we're getting closer to that eye wall in general. So that's that. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll definitely be monitoring the updates coming through from them. Looks like they actually found, wow, look at that. The pressure has indeed dropped. 982 millibars. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing does get actually up to Cat 1 now. Considering that we're seeing the rapid intensification process here. This thing very well could be a Cat 1 right now, actually. It is definitely close to it. If it's not, it's right. It's really close, and there's actually a bit of lightning activity happening here near the core. The more I look at it, too, that is two very obvious signs that this thing is strengthening here. See all that lightning activity around the core at one point? That is definitely very interesting. Definitely very interesting. So this thing might be actually approaching. This thing might actually be approaching the Cat 1 standpoint. We'll see. We'll see what it does. We'll see if the new Hurricane Center update comes. I want to say they updated at 5. So let me double check on that. So last update was at 2, and they usually update it about 3 hours, I'm sure. So yeah, we'll probably be getting a new update here very soon. Last update from the Hurricane Center had it at 984 millibars, sustained winds of 70. And whenever it comes to it, the Hurricane Center. See here, they actually mentioned that the Hurricane Center, the hurricane hunters out there, they showed the pressure. They just found pressure that's even lower. See, it's got good rotation. It does. Yeah, it's definitely a pretty solid system, that's for sure. I mean, it's definitely going to be causing a lot of heavy impacts out there. You know, like we were talking about in terms of the surges and stuff. I mean, we're talking a good amount of surging being a possibility. You know, 4 to 6 foot in some areas, which is crazy. Definitely really crazy. See, Nick says this thing is weak. Not really. No, it's really not. I mean, you know, even if it's considered a tropical storm, there's still a lot of impacts with it. I mean, this thing's nearing hurricane strength. Let me actually go ahead and show you those impacts specifically. Whenever it comes to it here, here's the rainfall expectancy. I mean, the area of landfall, you know, kind of near Wilmington area. It is forecasted to potentially get into the region of 6 to 10 inches of rainfall. That is a lot of rain. So 6 to 10 inches is in the forecast here for some of those regions out there. Southeast Virginia, you know, towards Richmond, you know, Newport News area, 4 to 6 inches of rainfall is possible. And a very, very, very broad area of, you know, 2 to 4 inches in general. Seeing, you know, a really lot of rainfall throughout the Mid-Atlantic and the southern New England regions here. It is definitely very, very heavy amounts overall is what we're looking at. So very, very heavy amounts of rainfall is forecasted to occur. And with the surges, you know, it's really heavy coastal impacts here too. You know, really, really heavy coastal impacts out there too. You know, 4 to 6 foot out there, you know, towards areas here of Newsom Bay rivers overall. And, you know, a lot of the Chesapeake 2 to 4 foot of surges as well. Let's see. Hey, Andrew, my drive from Wilmington to Myrtle Beach should be okay, right? Yeah, you should be fine. Not too worried about it. Not too worried about it. It's just gonna be pretty gusty out there. Obviously, the worst of it will be to your northeast, so you're good. Let's see here. Nick says I'm in the middle of it, just wind and rain. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly just going to be a wind and rain event, but there's going to be a lot of flooding for those low-lying areas there. That's a problem, as well as the coastlines here, you know, with that surging potential, like I said, 2 to 4 foot, is not something to be taken lightly, especially for areas that really don't see tropical activity too much. I mean, these areas here rarely get affected. I mean, most of the storms usually either pull out the sea or they go out there in the Caribbean or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens from time to time, but you know, it's not extremely common that you see this. So you know, it's definitely going to be pretty impactful for these areas here. You know, regarding the flooding, regarding the storm surge, mixing those two combos together. I mean, coastal flooding along with the overall, you know, rainfall, it's going to be a problem. So I got to really be looking out there for that. And also the winds. I mean, yeah, winds are going to be a problem too. You know, we're going to hop you guys back over here to the latest winds and stuff like that. Like whenever it comes to it, I mean, the ground is going to be so saturated, you know, from all of this precipitation, all of this moisture that's basically falling, you know, and all that. And that's going to loosen up the soil. And with the winds being as strong as they are, you know, potentially gusts, according to the latest update here, gusts up to 85 in the storm is possible. In which that would cause some trees to fall over for sure. Definitely is a problem in which we definitely need to be looking out here for. Let's see here. Say 2 foot in my canal. Gotcha. Well, Nick, stay safe out there, my friend. And if there's anything I can do to help you, please let me know. It's definitely not the worst storm that North Carolina's experienced before, but it's definitely going to be very impactful for some of those areas out there, for sure. Let's see here. See, check out the Surf City Bridge Cam if you get chances. Let's see. Actually, I might even have some. Let's see here. There might be a few. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not too sure. I don't think there's any cameras out here. I might be able to pull some up here. Hold on. I do have a whole network I've collected over the years of live cameras and stuff. I might be able to pull one up here for North Carolina. Here we go. Yeah, some of these sites they have good cameras and some of them have bad ones. We might have some good cameras. Hold on a minute. So this is making landfall out there by Emerald Isle more than likely. So that would be okay right in here. This might be the best source we got. Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't look like there might. I don't think there's going to be any live footage. Yeah, no, these cameras aren't really good. Basically just a still image. Yeah, see, I was looking for you know, a video feed, but it doesn't look like this is a video feed. It looks like this is just a still image there. But anyways, well, that's that. I'll look later and I'll see if I can find any more as it makes landfall. But all right, we're gonna hop all the way back over here to the radar view here though. But yeah, we are seeing a pretty strong band kicking off here to, you know, towards New Bern and Trent Woods right now. Definitely is pretty hefty out there, that's for sure. Regarding the system, it's getting closer and closer to landfall, and you can actually see the center is located right in here. You know, right in this area here. It looks like it's going right towards Emerald Isle. You know, if I was to say, it looks like this thing is going to be making landfall out there towards Emerald Isle there. Let's see here. There was tornado watches here before in the East Coast, but let's see here. Usually a very low chance anyways. Yeah, I mean, there is going to be that chance, though, you know, of a few spin-up tornadoes, you know, a few cyclone-induced tornadoes here on the right-hand side of the flank here. So there is that tornado concern, and you can actually see that if I bring y'all back over here to one of the main programs here. So that green area, it's not the biggest chance in the world, but it is definitely a shot for a few isolated tornadoes. You know, a tornado or two could occur out of the system. You know, for right in here. So these areas here throughout portions of, you know, eastern North Carolina, throughout portions of eastern Virginia, into southeast Maryland, southern portions of Delaware, we are in that zone here where we are talking, you know, maybe a couple tornadoes can't be ruled out. But we also got to remember we have a big severe weather event today as well we need to cover, all the way from Oklahoma all the way up to portions here of Minnesota regarding the tornadoes. It's definitely going to be pretty hefty out there. 5% chance. So we're gonna likely see some tornadoes today across the Midwest, Central Plains, Upper Midwest region. So to my friends who lives out there, obviously make sure y'all are prepared for that, as storms will be happening here later on this afternoon. But you know, with this storm going on and we have the severe weather that's happening, we got that enhanced risk out there actually. You know, that level 3 severe weather threat definitely is pretty hefty. Pretty hefty overall here. But whenever it comes to it, I mean, we got the tropical system this morning, and then later on this afternoon, we got to worry about the severe weather. So it's going to be a very action-packed filled day, that's for sure. See here, pretty windy in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine. The storm's definitely getting closer and closer to landfill here. Or landfill? Landfill? Landfall. Let's see here. Tornadoes aren't common in the East Coast. Not particularly. Yep, not particularly. But they can happen, you know, especially with these cyclone-induced tornadoes here, you know, the cyclone-induced activity. Because on the right-hand side of these tropical cyclones, that's where you have your strongest winds. It's right in this area here. That is also where you have the, you know, the highest instability, you know, for thunder, for you know, tornadoes and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely got to be preparing for those. You know, a couple isolated tornadoes is possible today. The odds are pretty low for one given area, but you know, a few brief touchdowns are possible. I mean, that's just a given thing for, you know, any strong low pressure system in general, or any you know, any tropical cyclone. See here, Keegan says hello from Perry, Oklahoma. What's up, Keegan? Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. I don't know if they're gonna issue a tornado watch here soon. I don't think they will. Honestly, I don't think that they're gonna issue a tornado watch here. Considering the probability is only a 2% chance, they usually issue those tornado watches for 5% chances. We will more than likely get tornado watches later today, though. Throughout portions of. See here. Yeah, we'll more than likely get tornado watches across these areas here today, all the way down into some of these regions. Oh, wait, you can't even see that. My bad, y'all. Let's go ahead and hop your way over here. Yeah, it's mostly these areas that'll probably see those tornado watches today, because that's where the 5% tornado threat exists. So, pretty big severe weather event. And if I show you guys back again over here to the infrared view, with the satellite, you can actually see that that rotation is kicking off there. That's where that low is located, and that is, you know, that is tracking its way to the east. Actually, it looks like a bit of storm activity is already popping off out there. Look at that. Hold on, give it a second. There you go. Boom, right there. Let's see. This is warned for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts for areas near Grant and Madrid in southwestern Nebraska. Also, looks like they're towards Jackson, Minnesota. There's a bit of activity popping off here, too. Yeah, right in there. There you go. Interesting. So it looks like a few morning thunderstorms are popping off out there. But the big boy itself is, just chilling here. Getting ready to make landfall here in the next couple of hours. Actually, I think it'll make landfall within the next hour to hour and a half, maybe. Yeah, the next hour to hour and a half, maybe we'll probably see that landfall. Let's see. I'm in, let's see, Pedro says, I'm in, let's see, Moyock, North Carolina, and it's calm right now. Appreciate your work. Keep it up. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the kind words. Trey saying, hello, raining hard here in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Well, be safe out there. See, thanks for keeping us informed. You're very welcome. You guys are very welcome. You know, I'm happy to be here for you guys. Unfortunately, it has to be so early. Mother Nature does not care what time it is. Mother Nature will do anything just to make your day worse. That's for sure. But you know, we're here. We'll be here for a while today, guys. You know, especially today's gonna be a very active day. With the obviously tropical system that's making landfall here, as well as the severe weather today across the central U.S. It's gonna be a bit of a problem. Let's see. I feel like it's taken forever for landfall. Not really. It's actually going pretty quickly. Nope. It's going pretty quickly. Like I said, the center of the storm is actually coming up on land here very, very, very soon. See, the central low is like right in there. And the storm's moving in just this general direction. It's going to be making landfall near Emerald Isle and Swainsboro area. That's where the center is more than likely going to track into. Yeah, so that center is right there, going up right up to those regions. Also looks like out of that band there, the winds really kicked up there. Let's see, what is that? 50? Wait, hold on a minute. That's not 50. It's 43 knots. That is definitely tropical storm force. Very, very strong wind south of Jacksonville was just reported. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, guys. You got to watch out for these bands. You know, these bands will definitely locally increase the winds. And, with this band going on right now, I mean, that's definitely going to be bringing some pretty strong winds. That's where a lot of the strongest winds are actually at, is in those bands. So you got to look out there for that. That is for sure. But, yeah, the central circulation is, coming up here. You can actually see the curvature in the winds here. It's pretty cool. The little wind barbs we have here, you can actually see the wind directions this way on that one. And you can see the wind directions this way on that one. So you see how it's kind of curving, which is pretty cool. That is how these systems work. They rotate counterclockwise. Let's see, 44 knots out there and 42 knots. So winds are in the mid to upper 40s right now out across those regions here. I'm sure higher gusts. And actually, if I hop you guys over here, I'll be able to tell you that. So Emerald Isle, we're talking 51 mile an hour wind gusts here. This was reported at 3:50 a.m. So this was a little bit ago. I wish I could move this. You know what I can do, though? I can do this for y'all. Whoops. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, you can see right there. 51 mile per hour wind gusts, sustained at 30. That's for Emerald Isle. We have Beaufort here. Beaufort is reporting 52 gusts, sustained around 26. Let's see. We got a buoy out here. Let's see. That's the recon mission. It's going to zoom into that buoy. Wow, gusts getting up to 63 apparently. That sustained at 54. That's crazy. That is definitely really strong. Speaking of strong, it looks like the hurricane hunters are in the core of it right now. They're definitely, you can see they're flying around in the core trying to find it. And you know what? Let's look and see what they got. See if they got any new info on the storm here. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see they updated their position right in that region. They did find the pressure has dropped quite a bit. You know, quite a few millibars here since last update. Um, Here on the Hurricane Center's page, you can see how they have the pressure down there in the middle. You see where it says minimum central pressure in the middle of that little text there, 984 millibars. So that is already lower. Yeah, the hurricane hunters have already found lower pressure, which means the storm is still strengthening. Actually, you know, like I said, I would not be surprised if this thing is a Cat 1. Honestly, it's either a low-end Cat 1 or an upper-level tropical storm. But like I said, you know, regardless of its status, I mean, it's only a 5-mile-an-hour difference more than likely, which is, you know, nothing too crazy. You know, that 5-mile-an-hour difference is really not going to do too much out there. Let's see. I don't know what's going on. They don't have any surface wind data coming through. Don't know what's going on with that graph there, but it looks like that pressure. Oh wow, it looks like that pressure actually dropped in the 970s. Wow. Yeah, that is. You guys can't really see that totally. Here, look at this. Let me break this piece apart. There you go. So look at that. So there's your graph. That's your pressure, and then that's the data they collected. You can actually see it's right there at that 15 mark, which that 15 mark's right in here. That's under 980 millibars. So it looks like they actually recorded even stronger. Wow. You know, I'm starting to think this thing might be a Cat 1. I'm definitely starting to think it's getting in that territory for sure. You know, flight level winds were in around 70 knots, which, you know, it's not the same as surface winds, but it's definitely very strong. Yeah, no, I would not be surprised. Yeah, look at that. It's 978.8 they found. Wow, dude. Yeah, that pressure. Yeah, look at that. 978.8 millibars. That is definitely pretty deep. Yeah, usually if you have pressure that low, that does represent a hurricane, in which I think this thing is a hurricane, honestly. Personally, I do. But, you know, once again, if it is or if it's not not going to have too many differences here. Let's see. They don't have hurricane warnings out. They still have those watches. Let's see. Let me warning. Here we go. Yeah, so those pink areas here across the coast of North Carolina, right at that landfall point, that is the hurricane watches. And of course the blue ones here, these are all tropical storm warnings, where tropical storm conditions is expected. Let's see here. Haley says, hi, Andrew. What's up, Haley? How am I doing this morning? I'm doing good. Just a little too early for me, but, you know. Unfortunately, I can't choose the time of landfall. It's kind of up to nature. But I'm doing all right. Hope you're doing good yourself. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, we're likely to have a new disturbance form here. Here we go. Got a new update from the tropical storm. Yep, still tropical storm apparently. Advisory 8, Ophelia close to landfall in North Carolina. Tropical storm conditions occurring along the coast and will spread northward today. There we go. So, new update came through. We'll give it a minute. Give it a minute here. Here we go. That's the update. 5 a.m. Eastern Time. 981 millibars. Interesting. Very, very interesting. This thing is real close, though. This thing is definitely real close to hurricane strength. But, you know, 5-mile-an-hour difference. It's just a big name change. That's all it is. It's just a big change of the name. I mean, tropical storm to hurricane sounds like a crazy difference, but in this case, it's not. In this case, it's not. You know, like I said, it's 5-mile-an-hour difference, which is really not too different. But no, it's getting close. Definitely approaching landfall here, and it definitely looks like it is targeting Emerald Isle there for the landfall point. I don't think we're too far off the coast here, actually. Let's see, I'm going to measure that, actually. We'll see what the... go ahead and pause on the latest frame here. So the center of the storm is right in there. That's where the center of the storm is located. So from that center point to the Emerald Isle area, you can see it's around 12 miles. Right around 12 miles away from landfall. So it's close. It's definitely right there on the coast there. Almost. Very, very close. And I think the storm's actually moving at 12 miles an hour. Pretty sure. Let's see here. Pretty sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is moving around 12 miles an hour. Let's see. It's actually slowed down a little bit. It's at 9 now. Zinga says it's going to hit Virginia. Yes, it will. Yep, Virginia's definitely going to feel this one pretty good, too. Especially with the rainfall totals. That's the biggest problem for Virginia. You can actually see here, towards Wilmington, North Carolina, the heaviest rainfall is probably around that region of 6 to 10 inches. Portions here of southeastern Virginia, we're talking 4 to 6 inches of rainfall, which is a lot. Especially for areas that have not seen rainfall in a while, not too much rainfall anyways. And that 2 to 4 inch zone, literally extends all the way into southern New England, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, no, Virginia's definitely going to feel this one for sure. A lot of central eastern Virginia will feel this. All the way up even into Maryland and stuff like that too. And of course with the surges and stuff like that, even the Chesapeake, the middle lower Chesapeake area, 2 to 4 foot of storm surge is expected. So 2 to 4 foot of above sea level water being pushed inland is expected. Of course, that point of landfall is going to be right around 4 to 6 foot. So definitely it's going to be pretty hefty with the storm surges too. So between the rain and the surges, there's going to be a lot of flooding. That is something we can definitely for sure expect here. But yeah, no, I'd say the storm's probably going to make landfall right around 6 a.m. or so. That's kind of what I'm thinking. 6 inches of rain, that's extreme. It is. It is definitely a lot of rain, for sure. I think the storm is slowing down, though. Pretty sure that's why it's leaving so much rain, is because the storm, I think, is just slowing down. And it's going to be hovering over the mid-Atlantic for a couple days, or for a day or so. Which that is going to allow for... that's going to allow for the system to accumulate a lot of rain. Which that would not be very good. For sure. Let's see here. Oh, where's the plane? Oh, the plane went through. Okay. So let's see what kind of data we brought in now. Yeah, nothing too extreme. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the flight level winds. They're just not plotting right now. They have not plotted. But anyways, we'll keep on checking back with the hurricane hunters out there, and we'll see what they're up to. But let's see here. Latest satellite imagery. Yep, showing that big blob of convection just off the coast there too. Also looks like the winds are still fairly strong here. I'm gonna go ahead and hop you guys back over here, take a look at those latest wind reports. So with the winds out there towards Emerald Isle, that's kind of where the center of the storm is expected to roll through. The winds are gusting up to 51 out there. Beaufort up to 52. Let's see, we have another buoy out there in Beaufort. 43 gusts on that one. But look at this. This one out here towards Cape Lookout. See, sustained of 54 with gusts up to 63, which is crazy. See here, got another buoy. I don't know if this one reports wind speeds. Nope, does not. But the wave height's apparently 15 foot, according to that buoy. So we got another one out here. Wow. Look at that. 80 mile an hour gusts. Oh, wow, dude. That is nuts. Sustained of 53. This was at 3:08 a.m. So this was, a little bit ago. About 2 hours ago. But still. Sustained of 50 with gusts up to 80. Man, oh man, that's definitely very impactful. Yeah, right now the storm's estimated to, let's see, be around 85. So this, 85 gusts. Wow. That's crazy. And of course, this thing's still going to remain a tropical storm for a little bit of time. See, getting downgraded to 60, sustained with gusts up to 70 as it approaches areas near Trenton. Continues pulling to the north here. Will continue to be a tropical storm even in the southeastern Virginia. Let's see here. But this is literally for like later on this evening here. Sustained winds of 45 with gusts up to 60. Then it gets downgraded to post-tropical as it approaches eastern Virginia and into Maryland here. So that is that. But yeah, we have the hurricane hunters there. They're right here. They did detect lower pressure, though. I don't think that the pressure, the one that they detected, because they detected the pressure down in the 970s. They detected that pressure around 978 millibars, in which I don't... Let's see here. Yeah, you can see the pressure has been increasing as it's been getting further away from the core. But the I don't think it made the update. I don't think it made the latest Hurricane Center update. Let's see. They did drop a lot of radio signs here. See, 19. I think that's the latest one they dropped. Let's go take a look at that. 18 and 19. Yeah, 982 millibars there. Okay. See, they had 18. Let's try like 14, maybe. 981. So pressure's definitely in the low 980s, but it looks like they actually found those winds to be in the, we were looking a minute ago, it showed those winds to actually probably be in the zone of, oh, here you go. I still have it up. Yeah, you can see how the pressure got down to 978.8 from their scan. So it definitely is still dropping there. Caden says, yes, it's about 4 in the morning. No, I'll not be here long. Alright, well, glad to have you here, Caden. Thanks for joining. Let's see. Nick says first storm ever with 0 lightning. Yeah, no, the tropical systems don't have too much lightning because they're mostly a warm breed of storms. You know, you need a lot of temperature differentials, a lot of thermodynamic shifts for ice crystal formation in the upper atmosphere, which, you know, a lot of that leads to a lot of friction and a lot of, you know, static electricity generated. But these systems are mostly warm, considering the warm ocean waters, the surface temperatures, how they absorb all that heat, therefore making, you know, lightning less common. Unless you have a serious burst of convection, which is forcing a lot of that warm air into a cooler environment, then that overall allows for those lightning strikes to occur. But, you know, since this thing is approaching land here too, those bands are starting to roll up upon land. The storm's not getting enough, or not getting that much heat, I should say. Not as much heat as it once was, which is going to allow for the thing to start to weaken overall. Let's see here. But, you know, it can happen. It can definitely happen. And some of those inner bands there, I mean, we have seen lightning reports on it, actually. Let's see here. Yeah, but we have indeed seen lightning happen out there. Let's see here. All right. So the core is getting real close, y'all. So the center of the storm is located right in here, and you know, you can see the motion here. If I go ahead and play this in motion here, you can see that's pulling right to the northwest here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be making landfall right in these areas here towards Swainsboro and Emerald Isle. That's where it seems like that center core is going to go over. See here. See you later, Caden. See, Nick says I'm in Sneeds Ferry. I see none. Gotcha. So you're in Sneeds Ferry, which that is right here. Yeah, you're on the clean side of the storm, too. You got to take into consideration the left-hand side is where the winds are weaker than the right-hand side. The winds are usually stronger on the right-hand side versus the left-hand, but still does not mean you're not going to feel any impacts. I mean, you've seen that band of rain that hit you at this frame here. This was earlier, about an hour ago, actually. Yeah, this was about an hour ago. And, you know, it definitely brought some quick rainfall rates, and I'm sure it got really gusty there for a minute with those with that band, as these bands typically do. Caden says, let's see here. If I do a live for severe weather later, I'll probably be at it. Caden, more than likely I will be live for the severe weather event later too. Like I said, it's a very active day. Very active day. You know, severe weather and you know, tropical coverage. It's pretty active. Let's see here. So yeah, Jacksonville is reporting some pretty strong winds out there still. 43 knots. So that's definitely in the tropical storm force. So Jacksonville's definitely feeling those tropical storm force winds. Let's see. Yeah, we got that big burst of convection happening right there. Oh. It looks like we might be getting a new burst here soon. Yeah, if you look closely, see how it goes to greenish yellow, and then in the latest few frames, it looks like we have a pop-up right there. Yep, so that could be a new new convective burst there. Interesting. So yeah, we'll definitely need to watch out for that region. That's probably where the really strong winds are going to be located, is in that little core. In that little core convection, where your strongest winds are, and the lowest pressure too will be in that area. Let's see here. But let's hop over here to the oh, you know what? It's a blank screen. Here we go. So with the latest winds and stuff like that, let's see. So this system is definitely getting closer. Emerald Isle here still reporting up 51. This was at 3:50 a.m., so this is a little bit old. Beaufort's update was at 3:42 a.m., which that's still a little old. Some of these they don't report too often, unfortunately. See, 4:08 a.m. So this was a little bit ago. Let's see, gusts up to 30 on that buoy there, but it's also in none of the convection, and also the cleaner side of the storm. Let's see. Let's see, Jacksonville gusts up to 45. This was reported like a while ago though, so that's a little outdated. But it's definitely getting crazy. Yeah, the craziest one we've seen, though, the craziest buoy, I think it was. Let's see here. Actually, this one has a camera on it. Don't think we're going to see much because the sun's still down, but yeah, it's completely pitch black. We'll probably see more of that activity later on whenever the storm has moved more inland, and obviously the sun comes up. Let's see. Oh, they took off. That Hurricane Hunters, they took off from Gulfport. Yep, Gulfport, Mississippi. Interesting. Yeah, Gulfport's one of the big areas they take off from. Gulfport and Lakeland is another one they take off from pretty often. Just depends on the position of the storm and where the Hurricane Hunter aircraft is at right now. Because I think we got quite a few of them. I think we have a couple of Hurricane Hunter aircraft. I think it's WJ-130s. Pretty cool aircraft, by the way. If you haven't seen it, it's basically an AC-130 with just weather equipment. They look very similar. I'm pretty sure they're from the same company too. Was it Lockheed, I think? Whoops, did not mean to change there. Yeah, I think it's Lockheed. Could be wrong. But they're really cool. Really cool. Let's see here. Oh, we gotta be getting real close to landfall at this point. Yeah, the core is right in here now. It's definitely getting real close. Yeah, it looks like Emerald Isle and Swainsboro is going to be the area of choice of landfall here today. Center is right in that area there. I mean, it is shy, probably 10 miles off the coast now, I'd say. We'll measure it, actually. Actually, I gotta undo that. There we go. So the core is still about 12 miles out. It's getting closer though. It's definitely getting real close. It's right off the coast here. It is right there, my friends. Turn that off. But I'm curious to see what these winds are going to show in Emerald Isle, because more than likely the core is probably going to go a little bit to the west of that, if not over it, but we'll probably get some interesting readings coming out of that. Let's see. There we go. We got a new report. New radio dropsonde. Sorry, not radiosonde. Those are on weather balloons. Dropsondes to come out of aircraft. So 982 millibars. That is the pressure they recorded with that latest sweep through the core. They did report the lowest at 981. Which is interesting. Yeah, 981 millibars. It's not necessarily weak pressure. It's definitely up there pretty good. Let's see here. Yeah, that's the only mission we got going on. I don't think they're gonna do any more missions after this. They usually stop doing missions after the storm gets real close to land there, because they can't deploy dropsondes. Those basically cylindrical tubes. Let me show you an example of a dropsonde. Give me 1 second. So let's see. So this is a dropsonde. Let's see. I'll go full screen this for y'all. That is what a dropsonde looks like. So they drop these things. That's where I'm getting the data from. Some of the data from. You know, it's on a parachute system, and they can measure the change in direction and how fast it's moving as a speed. You know, has a GPS counter on it, as well as it has, you know, temperature, humidity sensors. Let's see, barometers, all kinds of cool instruments, and those measure the pressure. The barometer does. You know, we have a thermometer built in on it as well. Measures temperature, dew point, humidity, all of that stuff. Really cool, really cool. And you know, these dropsondes here, they give us a lot of information, very important information. And you know, actually, back over here at the you know, these areas here, that's what this map is showing us, the dropsondes. So for example, they dropped the first dropsonde right here. Out of this mission, that's where the first dropsonde was dropped. Then the second, then the third, then the fourth, then the fifth, then the sixth, seventh, eighth, and so on. You get it. But anyways, yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's how they do that. But that is the dropsonde. That's what it looks like. It's a little cylindrical thing, and they drop it into the core or wherever in the storm, and it measures some pretty key information out there. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys, just to kind of show y'all what I'm, kind of a little bit of a visual of what those look like. But yeah, no, the core, if you guys are just now joining us, we're getting real close to landfall here at this point. We're definitely getting really close. Right now, the storm is, let's see here, like I said, about 10 miles or so off the coast of North Carolina. It's definitely getting real close here. And if you guys want to know the strength of it, like I said, right now it's sustained at 70 miles an hour. So constant winds of 70 with gusts up to 85 currently. That is what we're looking at. Like I said, it's real close to hurricane strength, actually. You know, we're talking, so for hurricane strength, you need to have the winds of, yeah, basically hurricane strength, you need to have those winds there essentially of 75 and greater. And we're talking 70 right now. So, you know, we're 5 mile an hour off from this thing considering being a hurricane. We're close. We're definitely real close. It's definitely a really upper level tropical storm right now. But you know, you know, just 5 mile an hour difference really isn't too much. I mean, it's just a big name change, really. That's all it is. So 5 mile an hour difference from a hurricane to a tropical storm. Obviously, when you think of hurricane, you think worse than a tropical storm. But in this case, it wouldn't be that much different. Because it definitely could be a hurricane, but right now they have it as a tropical storm. You know, it could be a low end Cat 1 upper tropical storm. That's the strength of it right now. Let's see. How high are the Suns drop? Right around 10,000 feet. Yeah, they usually the flight level of these the Hurricane Hunter aircraft is usually around right around 10,000 feet or so. Let's see here. Yeah, that's usually like I said, that's basically usually what they fly at. Let's see here. Nick coming in with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, dude. That is very awesome. Very, very nice of you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. That is very kind of you. A whopping $20 super chat. You did not have to do that, man. Saying thanks for updating us. You are very welcome, my friend. You are so, so welcome. Thank you so much for the support. That is very sweet of you. That is much, much appreciated. And big, big thank you so much, Nick. Thank you so much. That is very sweet. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Once again, you definitely did not have to do that. That is very, very nice of you. But yeah, so back over there towards the Suns, yeah, they drop them around 10,000 feet, and then they slowly fall. I could actually show you some of the data from the Suns if you'd like to see what it looks like. This is the raw data, or not the raw data, but the plotted data, I should say, of what we see out here. So the red, so here you go. So basically you can see the pressure difference. This is how we measure altitude, is in pressure, not elevation. I mean, pressure equivalents to elevation at some degree. Anyways, but 700 millibars, so 1,000 millibars. So the surface is obviously in this case right here. Surface in this case. The reason it's under 1,000 millibars because it's a low pressure system. You know, the pressure is going to be lower at the surface. But the red showing your temperatures, the green showing your dew point. The more closer these two bars are together, the more higher the humidity is. The more spaced out, the more the more drier it is. And you can also see the elevation here on this table, showing you how dry and how moist it is. You can see in this case it's more moist at the surface, which makes sense. But yeah, we can measure the pressure there. You can see 94 millibars was the surface pressure we measured there. Pretty cool. Yeah, they give us a lot of important information. That is 100% for sure. Definitely some very, very important info. But anyways, but yeah, here's the latest radar, guys. This is what it looks like right now. It is just off the coast here. I mean, it is literally getting ready to make landfall here very soon. And, we're going to have the effects all throughout today. Got to be looking out there for it. Let's see here. Steve says, Waynesboro here. Starting to get a little gusty. Thanks for what you're doing. You're very welcome, Steve. Be safe out there. Let's see here. Jennifer coming in here with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, guys. Both Nick and Jennifer. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. Saying thank you for your coverage. You're very welcome. You guys are very, very welcome. I'm glad to be here for y'all. Glad to help y'all out. Even if it is at 4 or 5 in the morning. It's unfortunate, but it is what I got to do. What I got to do. But I really appreciate it, Jennifer. Thank you so much, as well as Nick. Once again, thank you guys. That's very sweet of you. Much appreciated, and it'll definitely go help. Definitely will help me. Especially with my upcoming move. I have I'm moving here soon, so this is gonna really help me. So thank you guys so much, Nick, as well as Jennifer. Once again, very, very sweet of you guys. Big, big thank you. So let's go and see here. They updated the rain totals, guys. They just updated it. So good news is they removed the 6 to 10 inch margin. They also really changed the rainfall expectancy for Virginia there. Remember that big area that was showing the that 4 to 6 inch margin? It seems like that's completely got eradicated according to the latest rainfall projections here. Let's see. So whenever it comes to it here, you can actually see mostly in those regions now it's around 2 to 4 still, but there's still definitely a lot of rainfall expected. I mean, for portions of southern New England and the mid-Atlantic states here, right in these regions here, we're talking right around 2 to 4 inches. There's a few areas out there that could still reach 4 to 6, I'm sure. In that region, something around there, but it's definitely definitely still is a lot of rainfall regardless. Especially for those coastlines too, because not only are they experiencing a lot of heavy rain, but they're also seeing a lot of heavy surges too. I mean, the surging is a problem, especially there towards coastal North Carolina. I mean, we got ourselves, in some areas 4 to 6 foot of storm surge expected. That's not very light. And that's definitely going to cause, coastal flooding, especially for those areas that are, on the coast. I mean, the waves, the sea level could be about 6 foot above normal potentially, which is not very good. So, and of course, 2 to 4 foot out there by the complete eastern side of North Carolina here, even into the Chesapeake, middle southern Chesapeake area, 2 to 4 foot as well is a possibility. Upper Chesapeake around 1 to 3 foot, and then the surges can be felt all the way up here as far north as like east central portion of New Jersey, right on the eastern coast there. Let's see here. Tabletop says Andrew about to pull double duty live streams today. I am. Like I said, yep, today is definitely a really busy day. It's going to be a very long day for me, for sure. Considering this morning we have the tropical weather coverage from Ophelia, and then of course we have the big severe weather event later today, which it actually looks like we're already starting to see some storms pop off here, actually. Right there towards southwest Nebraska. Got a couple storms popping off here. See, right here, right there. There you go. Storms are already starting to pop off there, but they're not expected to, get severe until they get into eastern Nebraska, into Iowa and stuff. Because if you look closely on the infrared view, you can actually see we have a core, another low pressure system right there. You can see how it's rotating counterclockwise. You can see it's working its way to the east here. That is the main engine, the main driver for the severe weather today. And so that's going to be the spark of severe weather in general. But but that's later on this afternoon's update, or that's for later on this afternoon coverage. And of course now we got to wake up with the tropics and stuff, Let's see here. Texas says this thing looks better than ever. It does. It's it's a pretty solid system, honestly. I mean, it's not the strongest storm that North Carolina's ever seen. I mean, that's for sure, but it is definitely still a pretty strong storm. I mean, especially for those coasts there regarding the flooding concerns. That's the main problem. That's the main problem. The surges up to 6 feet in some areas. That could be a problem, plus with, a lot of rainfall on top of it. There's going to be a lot of flooding concerns with the storm here. I mean, it's not moving too quickly either. I mean, the storm was moving, I think, at 9 miles an hour. Earlier when we first started the live stream, it was right at around, I think it was 12 miles an hour, I want to say. I think it was right at moving northwest around 12 miles an hour. And then the latest update they have coming through is 9, moving northwest at 9 miles an hour in general. Let's see here. Be prepared for power outages. Absolutely. That's a big problem. And actually, here's the latest information I'll go show you. We haven't looked at that here in a little bit. So this is the latest power outages. 31,000 people now without power in North Carolina. 20,000 people without power in Virginia. So obviously North Carolina starting to take the lead. A lot of it's in, Carterfest. No, not Carterfest. There's no F in that. See, Carteret? There we go, Carteret. I don't know how I got Carterfest. But anyways, so Carteret, I think that's the name of it. Anyways, 12,000 people. Yeah, 12,000 people is without power. Just in that county alone. That's about a third, if not a little bit more. And they have all of North Carolina's power outages right now, which is pretty crazy. But also the the Virginia areas here too. Southeast Virginia starting to feel those because the winds are starting to increase there. And once again, you got to remember, guys, with all the flooding and stuff like that, with all the flooding and all that stuff going on there, the ground's going to be softened up, and which is going to allow for, once the winds roll through, that's going to allow for some of the trees to fall and stuff. But that's that. See, Diane says, much love from the UK for those in the path. Well, glad to have you here, Diane. I hope you're doing good. Florence was just 5 years ago, almost a day. Wow, really? 5 years already? Holy cow, dude, time flies. I remember Florence like it was yesterday. That was crazy. That's really crazy. Let's see here. Yeah, that's actually pretty nuts. Let's see here. Nick says, throw the kid a few bucks for his time keeping us updated. Like I said, it's greatly appreciated, but you guys don't have to do that. It's very, very sweet of y'all. I appreciate it. I mean, it does help out, but, it's never been about the money, nor will it ever be about the money. It's just about keeping y'all prepared, keeping you guys up to date. That's all I care about, helping people out. as well as just tracking the weather. I mean, I really just enjoy just sitting here and tracking it with you guys. That's, a lot of it. So, but I appreciate it, guys. Once again, thank you so much, Nick, once again, for the support, as well as Jennifer. You guys are awesome. Very, very sweet of y'all. Y'all definitely did not have to do that. Let's see here. Okay, we're about 8 miles away from the coast now. Getting close. Getting real close. Yeah, that little area of light precipitation, that is right where the core is. That's right where the center of the storm is located right now. You can see that band that worked its way through a little bit ago. Oh, it looks like some more bands are starting to pick up there towards, let's see here, Cape Carteret. I think that was the area. I think that's how you said that. But it's getting there. It's passing through Emerald Isle too. Mostly just north of Emerald Isle at this point. It actually looks like, you can see right there on the last frame here, in general, it looks like we're starting to get an increase of convection right in here. So that's going to slam into Emerald Isle. So expect those wind gusts to definitely increase here in the next 20, 30 minutes or so with that band. Because, it's those bands that really bring those heavy winds out, it's not just the pressure differential, but it's, the bands that cause that too. The bands, not just the gradual slope and pressure. That does it. That definitely increases the winds, of course. But, those bands lower the pressure even more, increase the winds in general. Let's see here. See here. Teresi, is that your name? Saying good morning, Andrew. Good morning to you. Sorry, I know I said your name wrong. Once again, don't take it personally. I say everybody's name wrong. Even the town names we cover, I say it wrong. I just terrible at just terrible at the the name. But glad to have you here. Hope you're doing good this morning. Let's see. All right, so yeah, no, that area of convection though we need to look out for. It's starting to roll into Emerald Isle. So rain's going to be picking up. Probably winds will be as well. Let's see. Let's go and look at the hurricane hunters here. We'll go and see what the latest information they're pulling is. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, they're flying back into it again. They're flying back into the core of the storm now. Yep, they completely did a U-turn. So they came down. It's a big mess, I know. They came down like that, and I think they turned at some degree like this. It's hard to tell. I think they did this actually. Yeah, they're going back up there towards the core. Let's see here. Teresi? Is it Teresi? I'm sorry. Even though you're trying to pronounce it to me, I probably am still saying it wrong. So I'm sorry. But yeah, no, they're flying in the core again. They're flying in the core again. Let's see here. What kind of data they got? So remember, this is flight level winds, by the way. But flight level winds are right around 60 knots. Sorry, which is still in tropical storm. Teresi. Maybe, maybe. That's a big maybe. I've been having an ant infestation here. I just had an ant crawling on me. It's that dumb season. It's cooling down and they're trying to get inside. I hate ants so much. Let's see here. They probably want to give this thing a chance to be a hurricane before it dies. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, regardless of it being a hurricane or not, like I said, it's just a 5 mile an hour difference, y'all. I mean, it's not going to be too different. Because, right now, it is sustained at 70 miles an hour. It has gusts up to 85 right now. And, Therese. Oh! Is that right, Therese? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Therese. I have to remember that one. Okay. But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, to be considered a hurricane, it has to have sustained winds of 75 plus. And right now it's sustained of 70. So it's like tipping point. Tipping point, tropical storm, hurricane. It's right there. 5 mile an hour difference will be a big name changing thing. If you hear hurricane versus tropical storm, You know, it's like let's see here. So basically, it's if it's a hurricane, people are like, oh my gosh, it's a hurricane. If they're like a tropical storm, like, well, it's a tropical storm, but it just goes to show you how close we're at that tipping point. It's just a 5 mile an hour difference, which would hardly affect anything. I mean, 5 mile an hour difference is not that big of a deal. Speaking of big deals, we just got pretty strong winds reported there. Hold on a minute. So that band we were just talking about that went through Cape see Carteret here. As soon as that thing passed there, the winds got increased. Let's see here, 50. That says 45 knots actually, but it shows a 50-knot wind barb, which I don't get. Regardless, let's see here. I think they might. I don't know if they updated it on my program here or not. We've had winds in the past here reporting up to 50 plus. We'll check on that in a minute. We'll see if that updates on my. I keep on going to the wrong screen. If it updates on this scan here. Yeah, I mean, last update we got out there from this program here was at almost 4 o'clock a.m. So this is a little old. Let's see here. Too late to make a difference at this point. It would just add to the season record. Absolutely. What time did I start streaming? Let's see. So I've been streaming for an hour and 15 minutes almost. I think I started at 4:15, I want to say. Pretty sure it's 4:15 when I started. AM Eastern. Let's see here. We got a huge wind gust and I lost power. That's not good. Hopefully you get that back here soon. I know life without power sucks. It does, unfortunately. But yeah, hopefully you'll get that back soon. I mean, unfortunately, that's going to be a big expectancy today is power outages, you know, across North Carolina and Virginia. You know, from all the soaking rain that we were talking about, you know, a lot of the rain loosening up the ground, and you get the strong winds that come through, and then those trees fall because of the loose ground. You know, that's the main problem I see happening. You know, and some of those trees could fall on power lines and houses and cars, and hopefully not, but people, you know, trees can fall on people, which is not very good. That's, you know, one of the main concerns we're talking about. The other thing is the surging too. You know, the surging, that's a really big problem out there. You know, that's something I'm a little concerned for. Is the surge problems out there. Let's see here. Yeah. But back over here, here's the surge's expectancy. I mean, it's going to be pretty hefty coastal impacts out there. I mean, this is having more coastal impacts than Lee did, actually. I mean, obviously Lee, it was a northeast storm. It went, you know, impacted like Maine the most, but the surges were worse for this storm than for Lee. So keep that in mind. You know, keep that in mind. But yeah, no, we're talking, you know, 4 to 6 foot out there. Storm surges out there, you know, kind of for the, let's see, Pamlico and Pungo Rivers area. You know, they're basically there for the landfall point. It's going to be right around 4 to 6 foot of surges. You know, it's pretty decent surging. Most of eastern North Carolina, though, is 2 to 4. Same thing for the mid-lower Chesapeake. We're talking, you know, right around 2 to 4 foot of above sea level. You know, water being pushed inland. And, of course, we got ourselves, you know, the storm surge effects will be all the way as high north as, you know, east coastal New Jersey. You know, right around 1 to 3 foot of storm surge out there as well. Even into the Delaware Bay, around 1 to 3 foot. It's definitely going to be pretty heavy with the surges. And, of course, the rainfall on top of that for the coast. I mean, that's what's unfortunate is the rainfall, you know, out there. We're talking a lot of places at least 2 to 4 inches, you know, being a possibility. Some localized up to 4 to 6 in some areas, you know, especially there towards like Wilmington, a little bit north of Wilmington. But, you know, a lot of these areas here throughout southern New England and the mid-Atlantic here, I mean, we're talking a good 2 to 4 inches of rainfall, which that's very impactful. You know, especially with the drought monitor. A lot of these places up here in northern Virginia, I have family that lives up there. That's where I grew up, actually. You know, they've been saying it's been very dry out there lately. So if you introduce a lot of water in a fast time period, like I said, you introduce a lot of water really quickly, that it will allow for a lot of heavy flooding. You know, a lot of heavy flooding out there. Stormy's good, Haley. She's fine. I'll be showing y'all Stormy here in a couple weeks, though. think, yeah, Storm's going to live with me whenever I move. Let's see here. Restless says, glad you're on with legit live coverage. Absolutely worse than Lee, though. No, maybe because I'm stuck dealing with it this time. Yeah. No, it is stronger than Lee. In U.S. impacts, anyways. For Nova Scotia, it's pretty much nearly the same impacts, but for the U.S. now, for coastal areas, in North Carolina, it makes it a little bit more of a problem. It's definitely more of an impactor for the United States, for sure. That one I can say for sure. But glad to have you here, Restless. Hope you're doing good. But we are approaching landfall, guys. We're getting real close at this point here. The core of the storm is located right in here somewhere. That's where the central low is located. Yeah, it's kind of getting covered in convection right now. It looks like we have a new convective burst popping here. Let's see here. Yeah, we do. On the satellite imagery, a little convective burst is starting to pop up here. It actually faded a little bit. Let's see. Not a big convective burst or anything, but it's something. Right there. So you see that orangish yellow? That was a little burst there. That's why the precipitation's increasing in some of those regions. Emerald Isle, actually, right now, is experiencing a pretty big... burst of rain and stuff out of one of these inner bands here. I'll go ahead and show you guys back over here to the radar. Yeah, that goes for Emerald Isle. It's Cape Carteret here too. See, the precipitation's a little heavy out there in those regions. Let's see here. If you want a live update, let me know. I'll stick my head out the door. Okay. Sounds good. Just be careful if you do, okay? I appreciate it, though. Let's see here. So we got one of those big bands rolling through here. It actually looks like a second band. Yeah, a second band is definitely forming here. Out there towards Trenton. Let's see, Half Moon, Jacksonville. Yeah, more precipitation there. See, Texas says we can't call the season a dud, that's for sure. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this has been a very active season, for sure. What's really crazy is the fact that it's an El Nino year, too. Yet alone a pretty strong El Nino. That's the weird thing. If you don't know, El Ninos usually bring weaker hurricane seasons. But in this case, it's actually above normal. And we're in the El Nino, which is very odd. Very, very odd. Let's see. I live in Swainsboro, North Carolina, 15 minutes from Emerald Isle, 5 minutes from Cape. Gotcha. So Restless, yeah, you're pretty close to the core of this here, huh? Yeah, Swainsboro is right there. It actually looks like you're getting a little bit of more heavy rain. A little bit of a band that's rolled through. Yeah, I'm sure the winds are going to be pretty strong out there, too. See, landslide/slips. Depends on the elevation out here. I don't think there's too many mountains in eastern North Carolina. I think most of the Appalachians are in the western sides. Because most of the rain's expected on the eastern side here. I wouldn't think so, but I mean, yet again, there is a lot of rain. Just depends on the local area, I guess. Let's see. Alright, we're going to hop you all the way back here to the Hurricane Hunters. I want to see what they got going on information-wise. Let's see. So they're still in the storm here. Let's see, the latest update. They're kind of flying all around in the corn. The corn? What? The storm, not corn. Oh my gosh. I literally said corn. Oh man, it's gonna be one of them days, isn't it? But yeah, no, they're flying in the core, not the corn. They're trying to gather some more information here, overall. Yeah, they did measure the pressure pretty low though, 981 millibars. That's definitely pretty low pressure for sure. I mean, even there for a minute we did see. Oh, that's the drop song I was telling you guys about. I don't think I have it up anymore, but there was readings of pressure. I think a 978.8. I think it was. I think that's the lowest we reported here. See here, no mountains here. Just flatlands, beach, marsh. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, most of the mountains are on the western side of North Carolina, so I would say probably not. You know, the one with the mudslides and stuff. I mean, considering that you can see here on the map that most of the rain is expected for the central eastern sides, mostly the eastern sides actually. But yeah, the mountains are out in this region here, out there, which, you know, not much rainfall out there is going to be a thing. Let's see here. Penny says, good morning. Let cats out early for a treat. There's bad weather. Oh, yeah. See here. Diana says coffee for Mr. Andrew. It would be nice. Could definitely use a coffee. That's for sure. That is for sure. Definitely one of the mornings, you know. It took me a while to wake up this morning, you know, getting up around like 3:30 I think I got up at, and I made a thumbnail, had that up by like 3:45, and then I went live at 4:15. So, it's been a crazy morning so far. And like I said, you know, the tropical storm in the morning, and then the severe weather outbreak in the afternoon, evening. So, I'm not catching a break today, y'all. It's gonna be a very, very busy day. Very, very busy day. And, you know, that just goes to tell you guys here, if you live out there towards the central U.S., you know, mostly the heaviest impacts will be felt mostly in northeast Oklahoma, eastern Kansas, western Missouri here. Big severe weather outbreak expected today. Large hail, you know, well over maybe 2-3 inch plus could be possible. We even do here, I'll go ahead and show you guys the Storm Prediction Center here really quickly, okay? I know it's not really on topic of the tropics, but it's something that's going to impact today, and we're going to need to cover it too. But this is the severe weather expectancy. Tornado probability, 5% chance. Pretty large chance, even with Ophelia, you know, in eastern North Carolina, eastern Virginia, that little 2% chance for a few cyclone-induced spin-up tornadoes possible. But today's tornado threat's mostly for that second system that's going to form here throughout northeastern Oklahoma, all the way up here in terms of basically almost central Minnesota, actually. It's really close to central Minnesota with that 5%. Damaging winds, 30% chance, 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts in the range of what we're looking for. But hail, we got a significant hail threat today. In this red area alone, is a 30% chance of seeing hail over 2 inches in diameter. So, really going to be a big hail day today, it looks like. Hail, tornadoes, and, you know, damaging winds. So, all hazards today. So, we're going to need to be live for, you know, we're going to need to be live for a while. I'm obviously going to be doing 2 different live streams here. You know, obviously right now, storms are not going to really pick off until, I think, like 2-3 p.m., not a.m. So that's when I'll probably be going live for you guys around that time, maybe. But, you know, this morning we just requested, or I needed to do coverage this morning for Landfall here. Let's see here. Tide's pulling out finally. Let's see. You said you're in Sneed's Ferry, right? I can see that, yeah, because, you know, what's happening here, you probably know this. You probably know this, but the core is right in this place at this point. So they rotate counterclockwise. So what's happening here is, you know, the winds are, you know, pulling away from the shoreline. So it's kind of receding the waters a bit. You know, that would be the most dangerous time to go out in the water, though, which definitely don't do that because of rip currents. It's probably a really big problem right there right now. But yeah, once the storm pulls up to the north, and those winds are going to start to come, you know, mostly parallel to the coast and eventually back towards the coastline. Let's see here. Bone Mama says, good morning, Andrew and friends. What's up? 2:30 a.m. here in Phoenix. And you're up. So you are all up early, or you are all up early. Happy Saturday. You too, Bone Mama. Thanks for joining us. Definitely really early for you. It's early for me too. Right here in Eastern time, it's 5:40. So it's a little bit like I said, it's a little early here. I mean, we started at like 4:15, I think. But I'm glad to have you here, Bone Mama. Hope you're doing good. Let's see. CC Cat says morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing good. Mary says I lived in southeast Louisiana for most of my life. Experienced Katrina. Oh yeah, Katrina was a bad one for sure. Many others. This one's a baby, but looks like it's going right over us in North Carolina for sure. Yeah, I mean, you can't compare a system like this to Katrina. I mean, Katrina was a massive hurricane versus this is an upper tropical storm, Now, with that being said, though, there still is some heavy impacts, even with the tropical storm like this. I mean, flooding is, I think, the main problem. The winds is, that's a problem. Yes, the winds are definitely a problem, but in this case, I think the main problem is the flooding aspect. Between rainwater and seawater, both being an issue. I mean, like I said, here's the latest trajectory from the rainfall from the Weather Prediction Center. I mean, yeah, definitely a good amount of rain is forecasted here. For a lot of the Mid-Atlantic, southern New England, a big streak there of 2 to 4 inches. Good amount, definitely a good amount of rainfall expected. A few isolated areas, you can see here. Some areas out there in New Jersey, maybe southeast Virginia, and eastern, southern side of North Carolina, maybe in the range of 4 to 6 in some isolated aspects, but mostly should be right around 2 to 4 in general. And of course, the coastal water flooding from surges is expected too, around the point of landfall, which is right in here essentially. 4 to 6 foot. Yeah, 4 to 6 foot there. It's definitely definitely is a bit of an issue with the surges, and we could actually feel those all the way up as far north as like east central New Jersey's coast out there. 1 to 3 foot of surges is a possibility out in there. The northern Chesapeake here, we're talking 1 to 3 foot. 1 to 3 foot there for the Chesapeake, for the northern central side. For the southern side though, 2 to 4 foot is expected. Throughout the Potomac River and all that, still 2 to 4. So, going to be a little bit impactful for sure. And of course, we got ourselves. Here's the current wind field. We haven't shown this in a while. So, all you see is a big yellow blob. This is where the estimated tropical storm force winds are right now. So, this is where we are estimating the tropical storm force winds to be at the current moment. So right in this area here. So we're talking tropical storm force winds into extreme eastern South Carolina, east central sides of North Carolina, and southeast Virginia right now. It's actually approaching southeastern Maryland here too. Let's see here. Stacy says, "Good morning, Andrew. You were up early today?" For sure. I don't know if I already read that or not. I don't think I did, but good morning to you. Let's see here. Made a mistake of going to Atlantic Beach for a swim during Michael years back. Lost my wedding ring. Wow. See, no swimming in the ocean. Yeah, that's not good. Definitely not good. See, Texas says it really does look like a hurricane on radar. It does. It does look like a. It kind of does, doesn't it? I mean, this thing is pretty solid. Pretty solid. Especially it looks like out there towards Swainsboro, Cape Carteret. Yeah, Carteret. Starting our weekend a little bit toward Emerald Island, but yeah, we got a big band out there on the northern quote unquote eye wall, even though it's not an eye, it doesn't have an eye. But where the eye wall would be the core of the storm here. They consider it the eye, I still think. So we're gonna call it the eye wall. Okay. So in the eye wall there, on the northern side, that's where the heaviest convection's at. Probably very gusty. Actually the winds there are reporting into the 48 knots. Let's see, we'll convert that to miles an hour for everybody here. So 48 knots is 55 miles an hour. So apparently sustained at 55. Or hold on a minute, gusts up to 55, sorry. Gusts up to 55. Definitely is still very gusty. Yeah, 55 mile an hour winds. I don't know why I didn't have a 50 knot plus wind barb. 55 knots would be a triangle and a half stick. Meanwhile, it's 45 knots on the barb here, but it shows 48 knots there. Oh, wait a minute, I'm dumb. I'm stupid. Sorry, I was thinking miles an hour. Let's see here. Thank God the Great Lakes don't have hurricanes. Yeah. Well, you all got lake effect snow, though. That's a problem. Let's see here. Diana says it's 10:45 in the UK. Wow. So the sun's already up and everything. Gotcha. Well, at least we know the sun still exists over here. We currently can't see the sun, but we know it exists because of your observation. Let's see here. Go West says, hope everyone stays safe. Absolutely. Absolutely. We ought to be getting close to landfall here any minute now, y'all. I mean, yeah, the core of the storm at this point is like right here. right in this area. Let's go ahead and measure this here. Do another reading here. Go ahead and bring you guys over here to the latest. So there's the latest scan. So the core is like right there. Let's see here. The core is like right in here. So let's see. This is about 5 miles off the coast there. 5 miles off the coast there. Interesting. So yeah, it's getting real close. I mean, it'll be making landfall here probably within the next 20-30 minutes or so. Yep. Let's see here. Also, Jacksonville reporting winds up to 43 knots now, which is like upper 40, I think like near upper 40s miles an hour. Let's see here. Mary says flooding will be the potential issue, and tornadoes. I mean, yeah, tornadoes will be a problem, but, you know, not terribly a big problem. I mean, yeah, we're going to have the possibility for a few isolated, cyclone-induced tornadoes on the eastern flank of the storm. It's always the east side that gets the tornadoes. It's a little fun fact for you guys. So the east side of these tropical systems, that's where the tornadoes happen, because that's where your strongest winds are. That's where your thermodynamics are at. So basically, that's where your instability is for tornadoes. It's mostly in that region there, the right-hand side. Left-hand side is just incompatible because a lot of factors there. But yeah, the eastern side is where the tornadoes can happen. But we do have a tornado threat here, and actually, I have it up here on the radar here. You can actually see that tornado threat extends right here for those regions. So everything on this side. This is where this right here is where the tornado effects are expected to be. So eastern North Carolina, eastern Virginia, even southeastern Maryland, and even Delaware actually. Yep, portions of Delaware have a small tornado threat, but it's a 2% chance. It's a very low probability of seeing tornadoes for a given location. I mean, like I said, the odds are very low actually overall. But yeah, no, the odds are not terribly too high. There's a good chance we might see 1 or 2 tornadoes though. Let's see here. Given another day, this thing might have gone nuclear. Probably, if it was another day out at sea. I mean, there's some more waters out here that, no tropical system has touched so far this season. Absolutely, yeah, it probably would have kicked off pretty strong. Stacy says, make sure you give Andrew a thumbs up. Thank you, Stacy. It's very sweet of you. Appreciate the support. See, Nick says, this thing is slower than a tax refund. Yeah. Sure is, isn't it? That's funny. Let's see. Diana says, Andrew, thank you for all you do. You're very welcome. So it's my privilege to be here for you guys. I appreciate it. I enjoy being here with you guys. Tracking the weather, hanging out. And, just giving you all the information. That's all we care about. See, Mary says, thank you for doing this. Best broadcast I've found. Bravo. Thank you. Very sweet of you, Mary. Thank you so much. But let's go and take a look at the hurricane hunters. Let's see what they're going on over here. Let's see here. See what the latest is. Where are they even at? Hold on. We're going to hop you all over here, too. Oh, they're over here. I was about to say, I was looking towards the core. I didn't see them. Where'd they go? Yeah, they're right here. So they're on the eastern side of the storm right now. But, latest pressure they read was, or they read, not readed. Latest pressure they read, was 982 millibars. Pretty low. But, like I said, though, we did see, 978.8 millibars reported, actually. That's the lowest I've seen on the storm. So it definitely got pretty low. See, Haley says, thanks for going live this morning, Andrew. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm glad to be here for you guys. You guys are real sweet. I love y'all. You guys are awesome. Let's see. Texas says, I think we hit peak intensity at this point. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We've already had peak intensity. If not, it's weakening right now. It's already starting to weaken because, half of the storm right now is over land. So it's not doing so good. I don't expect it to strengthen anymore at this point. Right at this point, it's either, I think it's actually starting to weaken a bit, ever so slightly, but still at 70, more than likely. Let's see. Go West says those winds are probably strong in the right front quadrant. So this side up here, yeah, that's where the strongest winds are usually at. Yep. I stayed in my RV during the Cat 1 once. Wow, that's pretty risky, man. Pretty risky. I'm glad you're all right though. That's what matters. Let's see here. AD says my girlfriend's currently riding it out with her family in Emerald Isle, Beast French condo. Gotcha. So yeah, Emerald Isle is definitely getting probably some of the heaviest for sure. We did report winds over 50 miles an hour there at one point. So AD just keep checking up with her, and just see what's going on, and just keep her up to date if you could. But the core of the storm is not far from that area actually. The core is like right here. I'm going to show y'all. Yeah, so there's Emerald Isle right here. The core is like right there. I mean, not too far away, actually. Oh, Aiden, I didn't even see your membership, dude. Thank you so much, dude. I'm sorry I didn't see that. See here. Member for 4 months, Category 1 Club. Thank you so much. Saying hello, all. Glad to be a part of the team. Well, glad to have you here. See, I just thought I would say hello. Well, glad you did, Aiden. Thank you for that. That's very sweet of you. Let's see here. See, Zach says, hey guys, just heads up, our power is flickering. Yeah, there's a lot of power outages that's been happening. Actually, let's do an update on that. We haven't done that in a few minutes. Quite a little bit. So last update we did was about 25 minutes ago. So we were talking in Virginia, almost 20,000 people without power. About the same. North Carolina, though, we have about 31,000 people without power in North Carolina. Yeah, most of the power outages you can actually see. I mean, over a third of the power outages is in, Carteret County. Yeah, most of the power outages is just there alone. Because that's where the heaviest impacts are going to be out there, kind of. Actually, the storm's making landfall right in here, towards Onslow. Probably going to lose more power out in those regions here soon. Let's see. 80 says, thanks for your coverage. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, guys. I'm in Davidson County. Let's see here. Where's Davidson County? I don't know where that's at. Gonna be looking looking over and over. Don't see no Davidson. Let's see. Anything past 90 mile an hour will be playing cow tipping with an RV. That's true. That's true. Let's see here. Emerald Isle might be getting the brunt of this thing. Yeah, actually right now it looks like areas near Swainsboro is getting hit pretty good. Let's see here. I think it was, let's see here. I think it was Nick, right? Nick, aren't you in Swainsboro? Oh, no, you're in Sneeds Ferry, right? Sneeds Ferry or Swainsboro? I forgot which one you're at. But someone said they were in Swainsboro. It looks like Swainsboro is getting ready to get hit pretty good by a band. Yeah, you got to watch out for those bands. Those inner bands, outer bands, middle bands. I mean, those things are where the winds are pretty strong. Especially those inner bands. That's where the strongest winds are located. So the winds, I'm assuming the winds are pretty strong out there by Swainsboro right now. Definitely probably is. Yeah, but this thing is getting real close to landfall now. I'd say we're probably about 2-3 miles or out. 2-3 miles out now. I mean, yeah, core's like right there. Let's see. Nick says Sneeds Ferry. Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I thought. For a second, I thought you were in Swainsboro, but someone said they were in Swainsboro. I forgot who it was. But yeah, Sneeds Ferry. It's you're not really in any of the big bands right now. Like I said, it's these guys you got to look out for that carry the really heavy winds and stuff. But let's see here. Rusty says we've been living in our camper since Hurricane Florence destroyed our home. That's unfortunate. Yeah, Florence was pretty bad. I remember Florence. Like I said, it's crazy. It was already like 5 years ago. I mean, shoot. Time flies. It's crazy. Real crazy. Let's see here. Penny says, woohoo, riding the storm app. Stay safe out there, Penny, though. Let's see. All right, we're going to measure from the coast now. This thing got to be getting real close now. Let's see here. We got ourselves... Oh my gosh, I keep on going to the wrong screen. There we go. So here's the latest radar. So we had that big band that rolled through earlier. That brought some pretty gusty winds for a lot of people. The band has since diminished, actually. You can see that the band has died out right in here. Yep, right there. But on the latest frame, though, the core is right in here. Which, if I was to measure that, you can see the core right there, actually. Yeah, that's the core. Oh, yeah, we're still about 3 miles out. we're getting real close to landfall, y'all. It's getting real close. Let's see here. 51. So, yeah, they still haven't updated this mesonet here recently. But 51. You know what I can do, actually, for you guys? I just remembered I have this. Tempest weather stations. Let's see, so we have weather stations here. It's gonna take a minute to load. Let's see here. So we're talking towards, here we go. That's Myrtle Beach. We're gonna go up further north. Holden Beach. We need to go, yeah, up here. There we go. Let's see here. No recent observation on that one. No recent observation. No recent observation. Come on. Does anybody keep their weather stations up to date here? Oh, here we go. There we go. Yeah, winds are very weak here. I don't know if I trust that at all. Say the winds are like 6 miles an hour there. It's a little suspicious. Let's see here. We got some more. Let's try like, let's see here. We got Cedar Key. $13. Yeah, it's a little better. Yeah, some of those gusts, though, you can see have gotten up to 31. It really depends on how well these people mounted the system. I mean, typically you're supposed to have the weather station like 10 feet at least up in the air, which, you know, most people don't, but anyways. But yeah, no, the winds are probably a lot stronger than that, more than likely. Let's see here. Let's grab another one for, actually, let's do Hunker's Island here. I think we have one. Let's grab this one real quickly. Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow. Gusting up to 62. Look at that. Yeah, you can see the graph here. So this is in miles an hour. So we got up to right at 62. You can see right there. Here, I'll show you. Look right here. This shows you the gusts right there. So pay attention to that. But look at this. Yeah, 62 miles an hour. That's crazy. That's definitely really strong. That's well in the tropical storm force, for sure. And I mean, that was out there by, yeah, out over here. I mean, that's pretty far away from the core, too. I mean, that's a good 20, 25 miles away from the core, I'd say. Let's see, it looks like we had, let's see, 54 knots there at one point. 54 knots. That would be 62 mile an hour gusts. By Beaufort. This was a little bit ago, though. This was probably about, you know, half hour, 45 minutes ago, maybe. It was a while ago. But still really gusty, that's for sure. Let's see here. Alright, we're going to bring you guys over here to the, back over here to the rainfall projection. So, yeah, so like I said, for the guys, people just now joining us, like I said, here's the expected rainfall totals out of the system here. They did downgrade them a little bit, which is good, but still there is a lot of heavy rain expected, a lot of flooding to occur out here today. You know, a lot of the heaviest rains between eastern North Carolina, eastern Virginia, through Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, Long Island there, and southern Massachusetts, where the heaviest rains expected. Also southeast Pennsylvania too. But yeah, the dark green area here, we're talking 2 to 4 inches of rainfall, which is a good amount, and there's a few isolated areas that could see 4 to 6. Last update, they really had a lot of southeast Virginia in that 4 to 6 zone. They recently have downgraded that. The reason they probably, the more I think about it, the reason they probably did that is because there's already been rain that's fallen. You know, because the rain has not just started. I mean, this rain's been falling for a little bit. But yeah. Let's see here. Hurricane Charlie was forecasted not really to hit us. Took a turn and went from Cat 2 to Cat 4. Yeah, they could be pretty unpredictable sometimes. That is for sure. That is for sure. And real quick, before we go back to the radar, also the storm surge is expected to be pretty heavy, especially out there where that landfall area is expected. 4 to 6 inches, or sorry, 4 to 6 foot, big difference. 4 to 6 foot of storm surge expected. That's 4 to 6 foot above sea level water being pushed inland. That's a problem overall. On top of that, with coastal flooding with the seawater, you got the rainwater too. So a lot of wet conditions out there for sure. Out even there towards the southern Chesapeake and throughout portions here of eastern North Carolina. I mean, we're talking literally 2 to 4 foot of storm surge too. And out there by like the Delaware Bay, those regions out there by the Delaware Bay, portions here along eastern New Jersey. I mean, those regions we're talking, basically 1 to 3 foot of storm surge out there. So that's where the most northern effects of storm surge is going to be felt. We've got to be at least a mile away from landfall now. This thing's getting real close. Yeah, the center is like right here. I mean, it is literally right on. Oh, flash flood warning. Wow, look at that. I'm surprised they waited that long to put that. But look at this. So out of that inner band we were talking about, look, Doppler radar indicated heavy rain across the Warren area. Between 3 and 5 inches of rain has fallen, with an additional. Expected rainfall rate is 1 to 3 inches per hour. Additional rainfall amounts of 2 to 4 inches is possible. Wow. That is crazy. So, 3 to 5 has already fallen with an additional 2 to 4. So, that's literally 5 to 9 inches of rainfall possibly in those regions. That is crazy. 5 to 9 inches of rainfall possible for like Swainsboro, Emerald Isle. I see Broad Creek. Yeah, that inner band's pretty daggone strong by Cape. You see Carteret here. Goodness. That's crazy. That's pretty crazy. So, yeah, new flash flood warning is now in effect for that there. Considering that inner band's definitely bringing in a lot of rain, that's for sure. Let's see. Nick says, I was hoping this thing was bigger so it would have sunk my boat. Why do you want your boat to sink? Let's see here. Just had a big flash of lightning. Ooh. Yeah, honestly, that's probably expected. Where you have those inner bands, and we can see a lot of heavy precipitation. Probably a lot of ice crystal formation in the upper atmosphere too, with that sudden burst. Let me see about on the infrared. Don't see it on infrared right now, but yeah, no, it's definitely picked up pretty strong out there towards those regions. Definitely picked out pretty strong out in those areas. Would not be surprised if we did see, some lightning out of that. Let's see here. Oh yeah, look at this. Actually, it's popping up on the on one of my screens here. Little lightning strike. So yeah, it looks like there is lightning happening with that. Let's see, the winds are they've got to be pretty daggone strong out there. Yeah, Cape Carteret. I'm sure those winds are probably gusting at least to 50. Would not be surprised if they're even higher than that, actually. That is crazy. But let's see here. Center's right there. Oh, wow. It's kind of changed a little bit to the... it's wobbling a little bit. Have it officially made landfall? Not officially yet, but it's very close. Very, very, very close here. Let's see. So, yeah, it pulls its way in here. So, the core is, like, right there. Let's see here. Let me measure this. Yeah, we're like 1 to 2 miles away from landfall. I mean, it is right there. it is right there. It's getting close. Yeah, this thing will make landfall probably in the next 10, 15 minutes or so. Let's see here. AD says, my parents were in Ian in Punta Gorda. Now my girlfriend's in Emerald Isle while I'm at home in Virginia stressed. Don't be stressed, man. Like I said, I understand it's a little scary. but overall, I mean, it's... I'm sure your girlfriend will be fine. It's just, like I said, it's a tropical storm. It's a strong storm still, yes, but, you know, I'm sure she'll be all right. I'm sure she'll be fine. Let's see here. Your coverage is great. Is that Radar Omega? It is. Well, thank you for that. Really appreciate it. But yeah, it is Radar Omega. Yep, one of the many programs we use. Let's see. There's the Hurricane Hunters. They're over here right now. Last update was at 9:56. It is now... Oh. Why did my time not work on this anymore? Hold on. What's going on with my time? Let me turn back to radar for a minute, maybe. What? Hold on. Gotta fix that browser source. Oh, you know what it is? Needs to update. There we go. Okay, there we go. That's better. But yeah, 10:07 is right now, and they updated this at 9:56. So this was about 11 minutes ago they updated it. But it looks like they're trying to go back towards the core, maybe. They've got to be running low on fuel at this point. They got to be heading back here soon. Here, I'm gonna help you guys back over here. Keep on going to the wrong screen. But yeah, they've done many passes in the core of the storm here. They might, yeah, they pulled east here and now they're going back. So they're probably gonna maybe go through the core again and then go home. Like I said, they've got to be running low on fuel. So they gotta head back. I don't know if they're gonna go back to where they started in Gulfport. That's where they took off from. Was in Gulfport, Mississippi. But yeah, no. Let's see, we're gonna play this in motion. Yeah, I'd say they're probably gonna, since they're going back in that direction, they'll probably hit the core one more time. I'd say potentially. But that's probably the last, recon mission they're gonna do. Let's see, so the core. Yeah, that thing's really close to landfall. The thing is like right off the coast. Yeah, right in there. That's right where the low's at. Right there. I mean, it's the central low. It looks like it's located right there towards Emerald Isle. Let me do something real quickly. Oh no! Oh, I broke my computer. Maybe that wasn't a good idea. Let's see here. Uh-oh. Oh no! I broke it. Oh, what's going on? Whoops. I accidentally broke my computer. I did not like that one bit. Did not like that. But let me see here. I can pull up the analysis. The pressure plot. Here we go. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Perfect. So... Okay, yeah, it looks like the last pressure recording near Emerald Isle was a little bit to the north, actually, more towards Moorhead. Pressure was 989 here. Yeah, 989. That was out there by, let's see here, by right here, right in that region. So, obviously the pressure is a little bit more lower out there by Emerald Isle right now. Wow, dude, look at that band, though. That thing has really picked up in some intensity. I mean, that band is pretty impressive. Look at that thing. Thing's definitely causing a lot of heavy rainfall and all that fun stuff. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what the winds went out there. Let's go and hop back over here to my to the Tempest stations here. Emerald Isle. Where was? Let's see. Cape Carteret here. Okay, let's try this guy. So it looks like the wind right now. Oh, is it down? Might be a down station. Darn. Let's hop over to another one then. Let's see if we had maybe this guy, a little bit more inland. Oh, no recent observation. These people do not keep up with their weather stations, I swear. They don't do very well at keeping up with them. Here we go. This is one that actually... Whoa. Wow, look at that. Dang. 61. We had a gust up to 61. This was at 5:50 a.m. So this was like 20 minutes ago. That is crazy. Yeah, 61 mile an hour wind gusts. That's pretty hefty, for sure. Let's see here. I have friends with condos. Let's see here on an island. Same winds. See, those things have to withstand to be built. Oh, for sure. Yeah, a lot of those coastal structures are definitely built with hurricanes in mind. Same with houses in Florida. I mean, in Florida in general, in tropics, you know. Oh. There we go. My computer was having a glitch there for a minute. But yeah, no, they're built with hurricanes in mind for sure. And tropical systems in general. See here, but yeah, no, that band is crazy. Yeah, that inner band's starting to turn pink in some spots. Let's see here. I've attempted this in Jacksonville, North Carolina on my roof. Gotcha. I have one in up here in Louisville. See, actually, I keep mine up to date like most of these people don't. They need to replace their batteries or something. Let's see here. But yeah, let's go and hop over here back to the, let's see, Hurricane Hunters. I'm curious to see what they're doing. Let's see what they're up to now. What nonsense are they up to right now? Let's see here. Yeah, so they're pulling southwest now. So they went west, or sorry, east, and now they're pulling southwest. So they might even be trying to go home. They're probably just scanning the eastern side. I mean, like I said, they've got to be going home here soon. You know, they've got to be going home soon. I mean, look at all the mess that they've done. Just tons and tons of very valuable information, though. But they've done so many scans. I mean, you got to think, how much fuel do they have left? Considering they might need to fly all the way back to where they started in Gulfport. I think it was, right? Gulfport? Yeah, Gulfport, Mississippi. That's where they took off from. See here. Nothing official, but it looks like landfall in Emerald Isle. That's kind of where it's kind of where it looks like we are going to see landfall here. It's right there. It is literally right there. I mean, it might actually be landfall. I think it's right in here, actually. That core. Here, let me turn this down to 14 frames. So there you go. Core is right here, I think. That's where it's at right now. Yeah, the core is somewhere in here. That's where the core is at. Let's see. So where I think it's at is probably like right here. Yeah, we're about a mile away. About a mile away. I mean, they're definitely getting some of those inner bands, though, for sure. I mean, with this, yeah, this line. Looks like a, let's see, Country Club Point. Emerald Isle is getting hit pretty good right now with the storm. Goodness. Yeah, I think it's a pretty impressive system, though. For a tropical storm, I mean, I must say, that is a pretty impressive system. Definitely a very impressive storm. You know, what's really crazy, though, is that, you know, a couple days ago, I mean, we really didn't have as much of a heads up as we would for other systems because it was just kind of a sudden, quick formation here. But, yeah, but things escalated quickly. Once those tropical storm warnings popped up, everything escalated quickly. See, they really tried to get it to be hurricane. Yeah, they did. I don't know if they're going to be doing an immediate update here. But, I mean, once again, I mean, like I said, regardless, hurricane or not, it was a 5 mile an hour differential, which would hardly do anything. Like I said, it's just a big name change. You know, if you hear someone say a hurricane, yeah. If you hear someone say a tropical storm, they don't expect it to be as strong. But, I mean, it was right at that tipping point, like I was saying. You know, between upper tropical storm, which it's at right now, lower end Cat 1. I mean, it is right at that line. I mean, it is right on that line. Any stronger, it would have been a, any stronger update, it would have been a Cat 1. It tried. It really did. Unofficially it could be, but, right now, officially from the Hurricane Center, it's still a tropical storm. I'm sure those bands right there is probably bringing some very heavy winds. Oh, wow, look at that. That is crazy. Y'all see that? It looks like it's actually taking a really quick eastern turn. First of all, yeah, like the core is wobbling. It looks like it's turning east quite a bit. But also, look at this. See that core? See that inner band? It went this way. See how it pushed this way to the west? Now it's actually pulling back to the northeast. So it went something like this. See, it went out this way and it stopped and pulled back up. That's crazy. That's actually really cool. But it's definitely a really strong core, and a really strong inner band out there towards Bogue, Bogue and Pelletier maybe. I'm sure it's very gusty under that. See, maybe they'll update it postseason to a hurricane. Maybe. You never know. Let's see here. Restless. See, you're in Swainsboro. See. Yeah, Swainsboro on the edge of that core, actually. It looks like Swainsboro actually probably got dodged quite a bit by that. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like Swainsboro. I mean, you barely missed that core. That inner band, I should say. Yeah, look at that. It looks like it's taking a sudden turn. I don't know if it's just my eyes, but look at this. So it goes this way, and it looks like it turns like that. You see that? Might be wobbling a little bit. But, I mean, yeah, it looks like it's going right towards Emerald Isle. The core is right there, it looks like. So we are literally at the point of landfall right now, pretty much. I mean, it is like less than a mile, I'd say, from landfall. Around a mile, probably. Say a real sidewinder. Yeah, it's definitely wobbling, it looks like. It's doing the wobbles. Here, let's hop over here. So, yeah, that central low, you can see it's turned, so it's right in there somewhere. Yeah, the core is actually right in here somewhere, actually. So, let's see, let's measure that. So, the core is probably like somewhere in here. Yeah, no, hold on a minute. Yeah, we're probably, look at that. We're a couple of yards, about 2,000 yards out, pretty much. But, no, it's, at this point, I'd say we're probably going to make landfall right around 6:25, 6:30. What I'm thinking. Maybe even sooner. I mean, not sure. But yeah, it's definitely... The Hurricane Center is probably going to send out a tweet. Oh, here we go. Look at that. They measured the... they put a drops on right off the coast there. 982 millibars. They just must have... or just now plotted anyways. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh no, we have... Let's see. Well, we know we have not. I swear the radar is off a little. A hair. Let's see. Interesting. Here, we're just going to hop you back over here. Yeah, but once again, guys, I mean, we recently got a warning, flash flood warning for that inner band there. Pretty nuts, actually. Look at this. Here, I'll go ahead and read this to y'all. So between 3 and 5 inches of rain has fallen in that area that's warned. Look at this. Rainfall, the expected rainfall rate is 1 to 3 inches an hour. An additional rainfall amount of 2 to 4 inches is possible, which is pretty daggone crazy. So if you add up 2 to 4 and 3 to 5, I mean, we're literally talking 5 to 9 inches of rainfall. 2 to 4, it's a 2 at minimum, 4 at maximum, and already between 3 at minimum and 5 at maximum has fallen. So yeah, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 4 is 9. So 5 to 9 inches of rainfall. That is nuts. It's crazy. Definitely is pretty crazy. Let's see here. We got Buxton. We got reports of pretty strong winds. I think 42 knots it shows. 40 knots. Which is a little 42 though. Which, yeah, that's in tropical storm force. Yeah, like I said, the estimated winds here. Here, I'll go and bring you all over here. See, that's the wind history. Here we go. So I'm gonna bring you all back over here. So this is where the estimate. This is where the tropical storm force winds are estimated to be at right here. So that big yellow blob you see here. Oh, kind of cut off a lot of it, but you get it. You know the yellow area here. That's where the tropical storm force winds are expected to be here. As of right now. So we're talking eastern South Carolina, extreme eastern South Carolina here. And, we got central eastern North Carolina there getting the tropical storm force winds, southeastern Virginia, and almost southeast Maryland at this point. So that yellow that's where the tropical storm force winds are estimated. There it is. It did turn. It did turn. Look at that. I just now noticed that. The track they just now plotted. So it wasn't just me. It's definitely turned. It did a sharp turn last second there. It's not that that's going to be much more impactful. It's probably not, but... I mean, it's only turned probably like 5 miles or so. But it's crazy, though. It's crazy, though. Nah, probably more than 5 miles. Probably 20 plus. Anyways, but still, I mean, that's... interesting. Let's see here. Texas has drop pods come with wind speed. I guess you're talking about drop sondes. But yes, they have GPSs on them, and they can measure how far they move from a location. So, they can measure the wind direction by which way it's moving, which way the probe is moving, and they can measure the speed by how fast it's moving. And obviously it's descending, and they can measure the pressure with the barometer and how low it gets, and they can obviously measure the temperature, humidity. Very important. Very, very cool. Let's see here. And that's a drop sonde right there. That's what we're talking about. So yeah, the Hurricane Hunter aircraft, they dropped these guys out of the plane, and they gave us some data that looks something like this here. Yeah, they gave us data that looks something like that. That's where the drop sondes were, but yeah, the data looks something like this. We get. So we got pressure readings. So obviously altitude correlates with pressure to some degree. Let's see here. Yeah, the red is showing the temperature, green showing the dew point. So closer those two are together, the more humid it is. And of course, we can measure the pressure at this sonde right here. In particular, was 998 millibars. Pretty saturated though. But that's the last one here. Let's see here. Max wind band. 983 surface. Wow. Yeah, the lowest pressure that we've seen, I think, was 978 out of the storm. 978.8. That was there from the one of the things we looked at here. Here's a recent sonde here. Yep, 982. That has to be that one that we looked at here a minute ago. Right there. Has to be that guy. Let's see. We're gonna hop back over here. All right, I think it's finally made landfall, guys. I do. It looks like it's finally made landfall. Wow. Look at that. So it's tracking this way. Yeah, I think it's officially made landfall, y'all, in Emerald Isle. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Yeah, the core is right there. Let's see here. Right there. Yep, so right around now. Right now, I think it's made landfall, y'all. It is right there on the coast. Let's see. But it's definitely moved a bit more north, which is interesting. Let's see here. Yep, so those hurricane watches did not materialize. Those hurricane warnings didn't. They did not issue them. But the hurricane watches, yeah, I mean, I see why they put those out there, because, I mean, we were close to Cat 1. We were real close. But yeah, that's that. So here's the latest rainfall projections, y'all. Or projections, not trajections. The projections here, like I said, still a lot of rainfall is expected throughout New England, southern New England, I should say. And as well as the Mid-Atlantic. Most of the Mid-Atlantic's going to be feeling this one the most. 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. That is, that's pretty solid. Pretty solid amount. You know, and we were talking about this earlier, is the fact that they have not seen too much rain recently. So this is going to be very beneficial, but also pretty impactful at the same time. You know, once again, if you introduce a lot of rain for an area that's not seen rain in a while, that causes a lot of problems with flooding and stuff like that, which, you know, is a problem. But yeah, there's definitely going to be flooding today. I mean, I don't think we've mentioned this, but the flooding outlook, we got a big moderate risk for flooding, which, you know, that is a... pretty big risk out there. It's a level 3 out of 4 on the flooding spectrum. It does not get much higher than this, but at least a 40% chance of flooding occurring in this area here. So they actually connected those regions there throughout portions of southeast Virginia into kind of east central North Carolina, and that flooding threat. At least a 40% chance of flooding occurring in those regions there, including Richmond, Virginia. 15% chance all the way as far up north as southern Connecticut. As far down south as like Wilmington. And the light green, you know, it's a small chance for some flooding, at least a 5% chance. I mean, it's possible. But yeah, the heaviest is expected mostly in this yellowish and especially the red area. That's where the heaviest flooding is going to be forecasted for. Or expected, I should say. So I'm going to remove that. And of course the surges, once again, y'all, this is the surge profile. This is kind of what we're expecting here. It's probably the heaviest right at this current moment right now. You know, right at that point of landfall, you know, we are talking possibly around 4 to 6 foot of storm surge happening right now, which, you know, is 4 to 6 foot of water above sea level pushing inland here. I mean, even later on this afternoon, later on this morning into the afternoon, we're going to be seeing those, those surges even being a problem for like the lower Chesapeake of right around 2 to 4 foot of surges being possibility. And, you know, the surges is going to be felt all the way up across portions here of even like east central coastal New Jersey too. Right around 1 to 3 foot of surges is a possibility. So that is something we need to look out there for as well. But yeah, no, I do think this thing has officially made landfall here. I haven't got the tweet from the Hurricane Center. They usually do, pretty sure. Let's see here. Yeah, they usually tweet about it. But I personally think it has made landfall at this point. I mean, because if you look at the core here, if you look at it again, whenever it comes to it, you can see how the core kind of really turned. Yeah, I think it's now actually over like Broad Creek and Emerald Isle right now. The core is. It is right there. It is right over land now. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's made landfall at this point. It sure has. Let's see here. Cookie says you're working again. Say you go, young man. Thank you, Cookie. Appreciated. Yeah, I wanted to be here for y'all. We're gonna be here again later on today too, because you know, we got ourselves another big day of severe weather expected. So we got morning tropical storm activity, and we got afternoon crazy severe weather outbreak expectancy. We already have some storms popping off through Nebraska on the central side right now. But yeah. Models were very, very accurate again on the storm. Yeah, models have been doing pretty good this season. I'm not going to lie. The models were pretty daggone active. Pretty daggone accurate. You know, whenever it comes to... I was really surprised with Lee, actually. You know, Lee, especially the GFS. The GFS is known to be questionable sometimes. But the GFS called it. I mean, even the ECMWF was off a little bit, but the models were still fairly in agreement mode, which is amazing. But no, I agree. Models were doing pretty well, for sure. Let's see. We had and have some coastal. Let's see, old growth longleaf pines. It was old growth longleaf around the home. He cleared out. Gotcha. See here, utility trucks driving through the neighborhood right now. Well, that's good. Speaking of utility trucks, let's go and take a look here back at the power outages. Let's see what we got going on out there. So with the last update we looked at, last update was actually over about 45 minutes ago. We last updated it. 30,000 people as the last update. Wow. Okay, we've upped 5,000 people now apparently. We're now at nearly 35,000 people without power in the state of North Carolina. Virginia, let's see here. Yeah, we're just over 15,000 people without power, starting to increase, and it's going to continue to increase throughout the afternoon and evening today. Total, I mean, total outages here across the, between North and North Carolina and Virginia, we're over 50,000. Over 50,000 people because of the storm right now in general, which is pretty hefty, and yeah, that's going to be increasing for the next while. Let's see, we're going to hop all the way back over here to the radar, but yeah, we still got that real heavy band, that heavy inner band right now. Let's see, north of Bogue, is that Bogue? Bogue? I'm just going to call it Bogue. So north of that region, east of Maysville, sorry. That is what we were looking at. So yeah, definitely is still a really strong core on that. Got a lot of these bands rolling through. One near Dover, Fort Barnwell. Yeah, you got to watch out for these bands, though. Those are the ones that really bring those heavy winds. That's where the most heaviest winds is at and all that stuff. Yeah, that is definitely where you feel the heaviest winds overall. Is in those bands, especially these inner bands too, because that's where the pressure is the lowest. That's where there's a lot of that increased winds because of the big pressure drop, and of course you get the convection that happens in that area that allows for those bands to be stronger winds and overall lower pressure in general. Speaking of pressure, let's go and hop over here to the hurricane hunters again. Let's see what they're up to now. I don't know if they're flying back into the core or not. So this is their last position. Still is their last position. Interesting. Okay, so this is, let's see, we'll hop back over here real quickly. Wow. Yeah, the pressure got down pretty low. It actually looks like that pressure dropped. Like I said, I think 978 millibars was the lowest we've seen today. We didn't have much information on the surface wind and rainfall rates here, unfortunately. Let's see here. But yeah, no, they're pulling. Wait, why does that say 270? Oh, I was about to say, probe number's 275. Wow, that's a lot of probes they've dropped. but no. It's 227. Still is a decent amount. Let's see here what that 27 marker showed. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like upper level saturation. Lower level looks like it dries out a little bit more. Gotcha. Yeah, it's probably why it's probably scanned one of those dry slots there. But yeah, no, guys, I definitely do think it's made landfall at this point. I'm pretty much safe to say it's made landfall here. In the process of doing so. You can see the core was somewhere around here. Now it's definitely inland. Oh, here we go. There we go. 6:20 a.m. Eastern Time. Tropical storm Ophelia has made landfall near Emerald Isle in North Carolina with maximum sustained winds of 70 miles an hour. There we go. I'm going to repost it on my Twitter. I'll even show you guys on Twitter. Or X, sorry. I'm going to call it Twitter, but that's what I've always called it. But yeah, they sure did. There you go. I'll go ahead and show you. Let's go and full screen this here. So there you go. So National Hurricane Center. This is just now updated, or just now uploaded, I should say. Made landfall near Emerald Isle, North Carolina, with maximum sustained winds of 70 as of 6:20. See, maximum winds of 70, with gusts up to 73. Interesting. Observation in Cape Lookout, North Carolina, recently reported sustained winds of 61. Wow, with a gust to 73. That's crazy. Minimum central low is 981. Well, there you go. That is, it's now confirmed as made landfall. I thought it did. It definitely did take that interesting north approach, though. It definitely really shifted hard to the north there last minute. But no, it did make landfall right over Emerald Isle. Yep, that is that. Let's see here. But yeah, I think they're done with the hurricane hunters and stuff. I think this is the last mission they're gonna do. Yeah, usually once the storm makes landfall, they stop. They stop all missions usually. So, honestly, the hurricane hunters are probably going home here soon. If they're not already. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, they're definitely going home now. There it is. So, yeah, it just didn't update on that last one there. But, yeah, that's them right now. This is let's see here, as of 10:26. It is now 10:36. So, yeah, this was 10 minutes ago, and they are far away from the storm now. You know, it looks like they're going to be heading towards Florida. They might even be landing in Florida. I don't know. They took off there from Gulfport, Mississippi. Yeah, they might need to land a little closer than Gulfport because they were in the storm for a while, and definitely got a lot of readings, which is good. But they have a limited amount of fuel, I'm sure, at this point. From how long they were in the storm for, I'm sure they definitely depleted a lot of their fuel. Let's see. But that inner core is still really strong on that. Yeah, the left-hand side of the eye wall now, I'd call it. We're calling it the eye wall. Even though it doesn't have an eye or anything. But yeah, no, there's a very, very strong core there. I mean, definitely bringing some heavy rainfall. Rainfall rates between 1 to 3 inches in an hour is expected. And across that flash flood warning they issued here for like Broad Creek, Emerald Isle, let's see here, Pelletier, those areas there, they said that between 3 and 5 inches of rain has fallen with additional amounts of 2 to 4. So we're talking between 5 and 9 inches of rainfall across those areas, which that is nuts. It's crazy. But yeah, let's see here. Nick says it's calmed down here about to nothing. Well, that's good, Nick. Hopefully it stays that way. Yeah, luckily for you, you're on the western side. Let's see here. You're about the Needs Ferry, so yeah, you're on the western side of it. It's a lot of the central eastern side of the storm that's probably the heaviest. I mean, now with that band on the western side, it's probably heavier out in those regions. But yeah. The hurricane hunters, they're definitely going home at this point. I can tell you that. Hey, look at that. They're flying. Shoot, they might even go back to Gulfport. I don't know, but they're back on their path here. Yep, 10:36. 2 minutes ago. So yeah, they're getting ready to go back. They're getting ready to go over South Carolina. So that mission is officially done. I guess we'll go ahead and turn off that data. Don't need that no more. But if you guys are just now joining us, it's officially made landfall here. As of like 20 minutes ago. So the worst is in the process or is done. Yeah, storm is definitely still pretty strong. We're still talking the storm is still sustained of 70 mile per hour winds here. 70 sustained with gusts higher up to around 85 expected. And recently, yeah, we had sustained winds. I forgot where it said on that tweet, but it said that somewhere we had sustained winds of like, let's see, what was it? Cape Lookout. Cape Lookout reported sustained winds of 61 miles an hour with wind gusts up to 73. Crazy. See, the red arrow would definitely have flooding. Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely going to be flooding across a lot of that heavy area. I mean, for sure. I mean, they already do have ourselves, that flash flood warning there, which is pretty crazy. Let's see here. Starting to lighten up outside, beginning to see a lot of water on the ground. A lot. See, and the rain's still going. Says Restless. Yeah, be safe out there, my friend. Especially to you guys out there in the low-lying spots. That's the biggest dangers. And the coastlines too. Back over here at the main screen, with the surges and stuff like that. I mean, we are talking 4 to 6 foot of surging happening out there, right where that landfall area is, right where it's at right now. 2 to 4 foot of surges out there along southeast Virginia, eastern North Carolina, and 1 to 3 foot of surges, even across the northern Chesapeake. I mean, northern Chesapeake Bay, as well as the Delaware Bay and coastal sides of central and southern New Jersey. So, let's see here. Here in Havelock, the center is about to pass over. Yep, you're right. It sure is. I'll go ahead and show you. So Havelock's right there. So, yep, it's just to your south. I'd say probably about let's see, maybe 3 or so miles. Not too far. Yeah, that core though. That core though, or the big eye wall, quote unquote, I should say, quote unquote eye wall. Those inner bands there, is to your west, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. Definitely, it's bringing some heavy rain out there for sure. What's up, Caden? Hope you're doing good. But yeah, it's definitely made landfall at this point here. Honestly, guys, I'm not sure how long we're gonna be live for at this point. I'm gonna be live for a little bit longer probably, but considering the main event's over with, or currently starting to wane down a little bit, this is gonna be an effect all day long today. So I'm not sure how long we're gonna be live for today, or for this, because I got to do more coverage later on. I'm gonna try to get some more sleep actually. So we'll probably call it a stream here pretty soon. I'm just glad to be here for y'all tonight, or this morning, I should say. Just glad to have been here through the process. I mean, we've been live for 2.5 hours so far, so we got some good coverage in. Thankful for it, for sure. Just glad to keep y'all updated. It's definitely all that matters. Let's see here. So that band, it looks like it's starting to increase here towards Trentwood and Pollexville. Got to look out there for those regions. Looks like the rain's going to be increasing. Also, like I said, you got to watch out for the bands. Watch out for those bands because of the heavier winds in them. Definitely the strongest winds are in the bands there. And, that's something to watch out there for. Also, the heaviest rainfall, too, which could lead to flooding, especially for low-lying areas here. But yeah. Let's see here. I was here at like 4 a.m. then I left because I was too tired. Yeah, I was tired, too, but, I wanted to be here for you guys. Yeah, I've only gotten like 4 hours of sleep, I think. So, yeah, I gotta rest up again before the before the severe weather event pops off later. Actually, I have not looked at the models here recently. Let me look and see what time the storms are popping off. Just a little bit of an off-topic thing real quickly. I guess I can bring you guys over here too if you'd like to see the models. Yeah, let's do that. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me bring them up here. Alright, let's go and hop y'all over here. So the HRRR. Interesting. So yeah, it really has those storms popping off here. Actually, yeah, right around now. I mean, the storms are popping off, but seems like the main line. Interesting. I'd say probably around 3-4 o'clock or so. Let's see, let's try NAM 3K. Interesting. Yeah, no, the NAM shows it later on, maybe around 5 or 6 or so. We'll see. I'll keep an eye on the, I'll definitely keep an eye on the weather, throughout the day. And whenever things start to really pop off, then that's when I'm going to hit the live button. How about that? But I expect it to be sometime late afternoon, early evening at this point. It might even be around 4, so I don't know. We'll just see. Let's see here. Thanks for your coverage, especially when it was dark outside. We couldn't see what was happening. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm glad to be here. Glad to help out, and I enjoy doing this, tracking the weather with you guys, and just glad to keep you guys in the loop of things. Let's see here. As long as the main storm stays away, I'll be happy. I just want to say thank you for your stream. You're very welcome. This has been really fun. I've watched you a lot. Watched a lot of the larger streams, but I honestly enjoy yours the most. Oh, well, thank you for that. It's greatly appreciated. Very, very nice of you. It's very kind. But I much appreciated. Much appreciated. So I think we'll probably be live for another 15 minutes, maybe. I think I'm going to call it at 2:45, or at the 2:45 mark. Not at 2:45. That'll be a long way from now. But at the 2 hour 45 minute mark here. So we'll be heading off here in about 15 minutes, guys. Right around 7 a.m. Right at 7 a.m. Sun should be coming up here soon too. Let's see. Please get some sleep before the next stream. So it's been really fun. You don't exaggerate like others. Real simple, fun, and informative. Thanks for everything this morning. You're very welcome. Super welcome. Russell says thank you. You're very welcome, guys. Much appreciated. Thank y'all for the kind words and stuff. And also big shout out to our supporters today too. Seriously, y'all, thank you for being here. You guys rock. We love y'all. We had Nick as well as Jennifer with the donations today. Thank you guys. Like I said, y'all know you didn't have to do that. Donations is not something y'all have to do. It's much appreciated, though. It really is. And, you know, once again, you guys, we love you. We love you all. I just want to make sure y'all are being safe out there. How much rain will Minnesota get? Let's see here. Probably a decent amount, actually. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this up here. So, wow. Let's see. All right, we're gonna bring y'all over here to the forecast here. So, in the next 2 days, right? Next 2 days across Minnesota. Yeah, I mean, it could actually be a decent amount. Let's go show y'all here. So we are looking maybe around, 2 to 4 inches, maybe, I'd say. The central sides of Minnesota. Interesting. See, what kind of watch will I get today, says Haley? More than likely it'll be a tornado watch. For those, they usually issue those tornado watches, y'all, for the 5% tornado threat. So we'll probably have a long line of tornado watches all the way from basically probably northeastern Ohio, or northeast Oklahoma, not Ohio, sorry. Probably from northeastern Oklahoma into, I'd even say maybe even central Minnesota. But most likely we'll have tornado watches at some point. Yeah, whenever those tornado watches actually get issued, that's when I'm going to hit the live button. How about that? How about that? When the tornado watches or the watches get issued, that's when I'll go live. Try to, anyways. Depends. Let's see here. I'm in Jacksonville, North Carolina. How much should we expect? So, with the tropical system here, good amount of rainfall. For portions of east central sides of North Carolina. So you can kind of see the map here. So across the area here in that dark green, this is where we're expecting around 2 to 4 inches. 2 to 4 inches of rainfall, which is, a good amount of rain for sure. Especially for those low-lying areas, you got to look out there for it because, flooding's a problem and all that stuff. Those low-lying areas, but also a couple isolated areas here, 4 to 6 possibly, maybe in there towards like Wilmington. It does show a little area here, maybe in southeastern sides of, in the southeastern side of New Jersey there. Could be getting, maybe 4 to 6 locally. But yeah, and like I said, once again, in terms of surging, for the people who's wanting to know, whenever it comes to it, right at that landfall area, right where we just made landfall here, 4 to 6 foot of storm surge is expected. So definitely is surging pretty good overall. Let's see here. And, of course, we have ourselves, 2 to 4 foot out there for the southern Chesapeake into the Potomac River there. And, of course, for the Delaware Bay as well as central and southern coastal New Jersey here. Probably going to be seeing around 1 to 3 foot of storm surge. But wanted to mention that. Let's see here. Sounds good. Yep. Yeah, we'll be live later on, Haley. So if you want to join our live stream, we'll be live for this here. Once again, I'm still not sure what time we're going to be live for the coverage, but, it just depends on when the watches get issued and when things start popping off and all that stuff. But I will definitely be live for you guys later today. Be live for more coverage. Like I said, it's going to be a real busy day. Definitely a real busy day, regarding the tropics in the morning, and of course we have ourselves the big severe weather event later on. And if you guys don't know, it's actually an enhanced risk today. I don't know if I told some of you guys probably didn't know that, but if you didn't, level 3 out of 5 severe weather threat today. The heaviest threats will be felt across northeastern Oklahoma, eastern Kansas, western Missouri, and really got to watch out for those areas, mostly in the yellow and orange areas. But across the dark green, it's still a possibility of a few isolated severe thunderstorms. But the most of the activity is expected across the yellow and especially the orange overall. And, like I said over here with the tornado probability, big 5% region there all the way from northeastern Oklahoma in through portions of central Minnesota. Whenever it comes to the probability of damaging winds, 30% chance maximum across that level 3 threat for areas like northeast Oklahoma, including Tulsa, southeastern east side of Kansas, and western sides of Missouri. And, of course, we have the significant hail threat, actually, across that area that's highlighted. We're probably going to be seeing those hail sizes in 2+ inches in diameter, which is very large hail. So very large hail is an expectancy, including Oklahoma City, throughout central, northeastern Oklahoma, eastern Kansas, western Missouri, overall, which is still a 30% chance. Kind of similar to the winds. The winds is non-significant though, meaning it's going to be right around 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts. And the hail, though, is significant at 30%, so definitely is going to be pretty impactful. Anyways, but that's that. So we'll be live for that later on today. Later on early afternoon. I say later on afternoon, probably early evening, I'm thinking. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. But yeah, if you guys are just now tuning in here, we did just officially get landfall here about 30 minutes ago. Storm is, now is pushed inland for the most part. At this point, we're really seeing some pretty strong, coastal flooding probably happening out here in this region near Morehead City. Because, like I said, on these systems, we have the low pressure system and they rotate counterclockwise. So you can actually see that counterclockwise movement. But yeah, all the winds are pushing against the shoreline here, which is allowing for that water to be pushed inland too. Because the winds influence the waves very heavily. That's what makes the waves higher and lower is the winds in general. So the winds affect the waves and the overall surging and stuff like that, and that's where we're going to be seeing that the most overall. But yeah, no, the storm's going to continue to the northwest here. It's going to be a tropical storm here probably for the next let's see here, couple of hours here. Next several hours, I should say, actually. By 2 a.m. tomorrow, it's actually still forecasted to be a tropical storm. Let me go ahead and show you guys this real quickly. So right now, at the point of landfall, which, like I said, officially made landfall, we're talking 70 sustained winds here. Obviously, higher gusts there expected. And as we work our way in here towards, like Greenville area, 50 mile per hour sustained with gusts up to 65. This will be later on, early afternoon today, around 2 p.m. Eastern. And then we work our way into basically tomorrow morning around 2 a.m. Sustained winds of 40 with gusts up to 50, and then it goes post-tropical as it works its way towards the Chesapeake Bay, and ultimately the areas here towards the Delaware Bay. So that is that. See, JR says good morning, Andrew and fellow weather watchers. Good morning to you, JR. JR. Glad to have you here. Yeah, like I said, guys, we're going to be heading off here in about 7 minutes now. Yeah, because we've been live for about 2 hours and 45 minutes. I got to get some more sleep, as well as got to get prepared for later on today, storm coverage. So it's going to be a long day today, unfortunately, y'all. It's been already been a long morning so far. I mean, 3 hours of coverage basically is a lot for this time in the morning, for sure. It's definitely, a little bit crazy, but we did it. We did it, y'all. We were live here for a while this morning throughout the landfall process, so very thankful for that. That's for sure. Let's see here. Could a 2% chance form a tornado? Yes. It's possible. It's possible. Penny says, I'm still here cooking breakfast food. Sounds good. Sounds real good. Well, I hope you enjoy your breakfast. Yeah, I might end up getting me Cracker Barrel or something for breakfast. I could really use a Cracker Barrel country fried steak right now. That sounds really good. So, no, that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to go up there and get some Cracker Barrel for breakfast. Sounds like something I might do. But anyways, guys, well, once again, I appreciate all of your support. Thank you guys for hanging out with us this morning. Like I said, we're going to head off here in about 5 minutes now, y'all. So if there's any final questions, anything you want to, anything you else want to talk about, let me know. We'll be here for y'all. Getting these dumb ants all over me. Like I said, I'm having an ant outbreak right now. It's not that there's anything on my desk. It's just that these ants are getting into this, like I said, getting into the obviously it's getting a little bit cooler, and they're starting to go inside, which is interesting. Let's see. Will the tornado risk be upgraded to 10%? I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not. I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you guys know if it does. JR says, thank you, Andrew. You're very welcome. See, Official says, I've been watching the entire stream. Great stuff. Really appreciate the coverage. You're very welcome. I'm glad. Thank you for sticking around. Ocean sea surface temperatures are spiking. See, in the latest data. Wow. Yeah, no, they've definitely been... They're definitely very warm, especially out there in the Caribbean and the Gulf. There's still a lot of warm waters, which is a little concerning, but as of now, I mean, there's nothing forecasted for those areas. I will mention, though, to you guys, we are watching another tropical system. Yes, unfortunately. It has a pretty good shot of turning into a depression or a tropical storm today. Like I said, overall an 80% chance within the next 48 hours of turning into a system. In the next 7 days, a 90% chance. Let's see here. Tropical depression is likely formed during the next couple of days. System moves generally westward at 10 to 15 miles an hour. System is expected to turn north or west-northwestward earlier weeks. You know what? Let's actually look at the models real quickly before we roll off tonight. Or this morning, sorry. Before we roll off this morning, let's look real quickly. Let's see, forecast models. Let's see here. Let's see. Hold on a minute. Current storms. That's what we want. And we'll do the 90L. There we go. There we go. Wow, actually. Interesting. So it looks... Wow. Okay, that's a lot of disagreement from the main hurricane models. The spaghetti models are very much disagreeing. I don't think I've ever seen so much disagreement before between the models. I mean, it's been a while if I did. But, yeah, very wide gap there. I mean, over the next 2 days, 48 hours, you can see they're, you know, relatively in agreement mode. Pretty close together. But then they really go crazy. It seems like there's a good chance that this thing could be a fish storm. A lot of the ensembles, too, pull it out that way, but it's still not a certainty. But we'll watch it. But, yeah, gradual strength into a hurricane is expected. You know, this thing is forecasted to get at least Cat 1, so we'll see. Let's see here. Mary says, thank you, Andrew. You're very welcome. I see Commando says, thanks for the coverage. You guys are very welcome. Haley says, thanks for the live stream, Andrew. You're the best weatherman ever. Well, thank you. Appreciate it, Haley. In case says, thanks for the coverage. You guys are very, very welcome. See, tell that tropical depression to take some antidepressants and chill out. That's terrible. That's terrible. But alright, guys. Well, we're going to be heading off here in about 2 minutes. If there's anything, y'all, any final questions before we roll off here tonight, or I keep on saying tonight. It's because it's dark out, so I'm used to calling it. I'm used to streaming at nighttime when it's this dark out, but sun should be coming up here any minute, though. But anyways, my friends, well, like I said, you know, it's been an honor to be here throughout the morning for you guys. Greatly appreciated. Obviously, you know, big thank you goes to Catman for being a recurring member for the last little bit. Big shout out goes to Nick for the $20 donation, as well as Jennifer for the $10 donation. Thank you guys so much. Y'all absolutely rock. I appreciate the donations. Like I said, it's really appreciated. It'll help out with my upcoming move and stuff like that. So it's much appreciated. And like I said, just know that you guys don't have to do that. It's very generous of y'all. Very sweet of you guys, and you know, all that. But once again, one last time, the system did make landfall at around 6:20. So this was about almost about 40 minutes ago or so. So it made landfall about 40 minutes ago. The center storm is located near Havelock right now, slightly to the west. It looks like here overall, and like I said, this thing's going to continue moving to the northwest. It's expected to remain a tropical storm until tomorrow, like I said, late tomorrow morning probably, is when it'll be, you know, downgraded into a post-tropical cyclone. But yeah, but that is essentially what we're looking at. Let's see here. Cadence says, thanks a lot for the live, Andrew. See here. I was not here for too long, but the amount I was here was awesome. Well, thank you, Caden. Really appreciate it. Let's see here. What is the latest? Let's see, on New Jersey storm surge? 1 to 3 foot for central and southern New Jersey. Here, I'll even show you the graphic before we head off here. Let's see. Can I bring it up? Let's go and hop over here. So when it comes to it, yeah, there's the surges there. Yeah, 1 to 3 foot throughout Delaware Bay, as well as central and southeastern coast of New Jersey. That's that. Go West of Things, Andrew. You're very welcome. See here. But, all right, guys. Well, y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Like I said, we'll catch you guys later on. If you guys are, you know, well, today's Saturday, so most people don't have work. But if you have work today, have a great day at work. Whatever you guys are doing, have a great day today. Like I said, we'll be live again later on, so if you guys want to join in for our coverage on the crazy weather we're expecting in the central country, that we'll be doing that later on, late this afternoon, early evening. I'm thinking it. So we started this morning with the tropical coverage. Once again, it officially made landfall a bit ago. So that's, you know, we're done with talking about let's see, Ophelia. We're done with Ophelia. For now, at least. I might do a couple of little updates later on in the live stream here for the main severe weather event. I might mention it a couple times. We might look at it at the time being. But right now we're done with the coverage for it. But yeah, once again we got an enhanced risk today, level 3 out of 5 severe weather threat. Pretty big severe weather threat out there today. Once again, the biggest threat is for northeast Oklahoma, eastern Kansas, and western Missouri. Like I said, also across the yellow, you got to watch out really closely. In the dark green, it's a chance for a couple severe storms in general, but once again, the heaviest is for the yellow and the orange areas here overall. But we'll be live for that. Yeah, right now there's already a few storms popping off in central Nebraska overall, some across southern Minnesota, and actually Wisconsin too. But it's not supposed to go severe until later on. But all right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead over here to the ending screen. Once again, thank you all so much for joining us. Once again, a big shout out does go to Nick as well as Jennifer. Thank you guys so much for that. Also, Aiden, thank you for being a member. It's greatly appreciated. Special thanks to our donators. Special thanks to our subscribers as well, our new subscribers. Thank you all so much. Before we head off here, though, hold on a minute. We actually got a new flash flood warning in effect here. Let's go and look at this before we roll off. This is for Havelock, for News Forest. We have New Bern, Trent Woods. We have Pollexville, Maysville, Cove City. Between 1 and 3 inches of rain has fallen with an additional amount of 2 to 3. So basically 3 to 6 inches of rainfall possible out in those regions there. So that is something we'll need to that you'll need to look out there for if you live out in those regions, is the potential for flash flooding and all that. But okay, guys. Well, y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Like I said, y'all have a great morning, and if you're going to work or whatever, have a great day at work. And I hope to see you guys later on. All right, y'all. Once again, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Big shout out goes to everybody. Thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy it, consider subscribing. Think we'd like, really appreciated. And all right, well, guys, the stream's gonna head off here in approximately 2 minutes. So if you guys have anything you want to go ahead and say your final goodbyes. And all right, well, we'll catch you guys later on. Once again, we love y'all. Please be safe out there. We'll catch you guys later on. Peace out, my friends. See you then.